Keep it on the low. Hoes are gonna hoe. Everybody knows. Hoes are gonna hoe. Keep it on the low. Everybody knows that hoes are gonna hoe. Hoes are gonna hoe. I always thought I always thought I couldn't be bored. At least that's what I was taught. I make my own money, I do my own thing. I never wanted a ring. Strong and independent, I don't need no man. Jet set lifestyle, Instagram. But since I met you, things started to change. Maybe I don't need my last name. You gotta be kidding me. The whole time that was on the other camera? Oh my God! Hold on. I'm gonna kill myself. I'll do it again. Hoes are gonna hoe. Keep it on the low. Hoes are gonna hoe. Everybody knows. Hoes are gonna hoe. Hoes are gonna hoe. Hold on, I'll take out my gum. Okay, ready? I always thought I couldn't be bored. At least that's what I was taught. I make my own money, I do my own thing. I never wanted a ring. Strong and independent, I don't need no man. Jet set lifestyle, Instagram. But when I met you, things started to change. Maybe I don't need my last name. I'm back in the kitchen, baking his favorite blueberry pie. Back in the kitchen, thinking one day maybe I'll be his wife. And I never wanted the white picket fence, but baby, with you it makes sense. I'm back in the kitchen. I had my own dreams and things that I wanted, but ever since I met you, my life's been haunted. With a white picket fence and 2 kids in the back, maybe we'll have a future like that. I never thought that I'd end up here. That was my biggest fear. Because when I fall so fast, and sometimes it don't last. I'm back in the kitchen, baking his favorite blueberry pie. Back in the kitchen, thinking one day maybe I'll be his wife. And I never wanted the white picket fence. Maybe with you it makes sense. I'm back in the kitchen. guys put a word in the chat, I'm going to start the show. Word in the chat. I will write a song about the word. I got to pull it up on my phone. I know. I'll get to the topic. Put in a word, and I'll write it off the dome. I know there's a spelling error in the title, and I don't care. I'm a woman. You guys get the point. You get the point. All right, we got sushi, bird, and bitch. They're going to get me kicked off of YouTube again. All right. Sushi, bird, bitch. Okay. You and me. You and me under the oak tree. You and me down to get sushi. Like a bird, I am so free. You and I are meant to be. I'll be your bitch, you'll be my ninja. You and me like the oak tree. You and I are meant to be. All right, let's see the next words. Hold on, let me put it here. Let's see next. I love you. I love you. You and I are like a pyramid. Been together since we were little kids. You and I are like a pyramid. Been together since we were little kids. Under the oak tree. No, we're meant to be. You guys got to keep putting words in. Keep putting words in, damn it. How am I supposed to freestyle if the words, I'm not rapping, I'm playing piano. There should be words in the chat. Oh my God. It's like I'm doing a one-man intro. It's not a band here. It's just me. Thank you. You and me under the oak tree. You and me, kind of melancholy. You and I are together, loving you in my orange sweater. You and I are like apple cider. You know I've always been a fighter. Eating steak sandwiches for free. Love is a goddamn symphony. Eating some strawberries. You and I are fucking meant to be. You and me under the oak tree. You and me, you know we're meant to be. Thank you. That was better. I appreciate the improvement. You guys did a little better. Thank you. Thank you for the words in the chat. I realize now that I got the words in the chat, my freestyle abilities are not what I thought. I realize, we're just going to have to try again tomorrow. It turns out I'm not capable. We can't win them all. We're going to go over here. All right. Okay. I cannot believe I forgot to switch the camera to start the show. I can't even believe it. So if anyone cares about my high protein diet, I'm going to continue. I'm going to talk about it. So I've switched to a high protein diet. And I've been impressed that I'm like not hungry at all. But today I had more protein shakes than I normally do. And I'm like starving. I don't know. All I'm doing is it could be because I got a little less sleep last night. I like woke up early and like, I don't know. I like woke up an hour before my alarm. I'm like, this is some bullshit. Bullshit. It's not keto. It's high protein. And today it's kind of probably been my worst eating day in a while. I've been doing so good on this. I had 5 eggs this morning and I'm like, I got my protein in. And then a protein shake, but yeah, I know some people said it's hard on your kidneys, but it's 150 grams of protein, so it's not like that high. I might go down, I might go down later. Yeah, it's keto if you're not getting carbs. Well, I am getting carbs. It's high protein. I didn't say no carb. I'm not crazy. I mean, some of you guys, you're like, just eat chicken. Just eat chicken and meat. And I'm like, I can't even have potatoes? A ninja can't have some potatoes? Who are you? Now my splits are going. Today, I made some improvements on my pancake. I don't have any pictures or anything. But my trainer was like, wow, we had some improvements. And I'm like, thank you. So I'm normally eating just rice and potatoes. But today, okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be honest. I ate something bad. You guys can guess in the chat what I ate that was bad. It was so good. Oh, it was so good, but it's not good for me. I'm not proud. I'm not proud of it. Do keto in the morning and carbs in the evening. That's kind of what I'm doing. So I try to get the protein in first. So it's actually kind of close to that. It's been good so far. It's just today. I'm like, I've been impressed because ever since I switched, I haven't had this hunger craving. And occasionally I get these crazy hunger cravings where I'm like so hungry. And then someone emailed me and they're like, ask God for a deliverance. And I'm like, deliver me, God. Get rid of this sugar demon in me. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. You cuss too much. I'm not subjecting my children to this. Do you think this is a show for kids? I talk about the Gluck Gluck 9000 on this show. And you had it play. You're the irresponsible parents. That's not my swearing. That's your vetting. Yeah, that's your vetting, actually. Yeah, like this is for kids. I know. What parent is putting this on? If there's a kid listening right now, you need to give your parent the side eye for playing this show. You need to, I don't know. There's a lot of dads that watch this show. If there's any young teens in the background, you look at your father and say, tisk, tisk. Yeah. Yeah. No, it wasn't a Pop-Tart. Yeah, it's kind of what I've led into. Like I try to get my 150 grams first and then I can eat more. But today I got my 150 grams. I think it was because I did too much protein shake. Like normally I'll just have one Fairlife in the morning. And today I had a protein like smoothie. Like I had a banana milk and protein powder for breakfast. I was like, I'll change it up. And then later I had a Fairlife. So that's like 70-ish grams of protein from powder. And I'm like, I just feel like logically, if the stuff like I like protein powder, but I don't think it's the same as meat. Like I think it's kind of cheating. And for me personally, I know everybody says go full fledged or whatever, but I'm just not a man. I've always lost weight slowly over time, and I will get there eventually. Oh, but Pearl, that just means you suck. I do suck in this way. I do. But I've never not gotten thinner year by year, but I just make small changes slowly. And this is my, I got rid of protein bars. Those are gone. I got rid of snacking mostly, so I'm kind of proud of myself. But I do keep the protein powders in. I do. At some point, I will switch it to meat. But usually it's only one. So like I'll either do a sugar-free protein latte from Starbucks or a Fairlife. I do one or the other. But that's like only 300 calories throughout the day, so it's not like a giant, the powders don't take up a lot. The rest is all meat. It's like salmon, chicken. There's garbage in those things that make you hungry. Well, I also drink sugar-free soda. My goal is I just bought a bunch of bone broth and I'm going to see if I could switch. I don't know. Pearl, men don't care about your diet. I know, but this is my show. So I kind of started this show to do whatever I want, and not to say that I can't, make it entertaining for you guys, but I did. I started it, you know what I mean? Like, don't switch to bone broth. Yeah, and I got a lot of suggestions in the chat, so maybe they're invested, okay? Maybe they're invested. But my weight has started going down again. I gained a little bit from December to now, like a month. And then I switched like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then it started going down again. So I think I'm on the right track and I feel better, except today. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did today. Called me a mom bod. That hurt. Words hurt, but I'll take. You're probably right. All right. Well, anyways, that's my nutrition, ness of the day. My splits are coming along. But I think there's a show today. I really have to do a show on all of this drama that's going on Twitter. Okay. Hold on. Wait, 1 second, guys. Thank you. I lost 50 in 3 months. Well, you'll probably gain it back if you lose it that fast. Just my experience. Okay, so I am undefeated on Twitter. I'm going to show you guys something. So back in March, she said, time to make some mini groipes, right? And what have I been saying about letting women into the movements? Women always go into movements and just ruin them. So I guess she's beefing with America First. I don't really know the drama. I don't really care. But apparently Amy Dangerfield or whatever and the Groypers are beefing. Okay. And so there's this cute little wedding photo, right? Here we go. And look, when I see a woman at 30 that she's pretty cute, right? Like, what would you guys rate her? I would say a 6. I almost want to say 7 range, but I think I am partial to this look. I guess she has dark eyes. I think she's a little less good looking in person now that I remember. Okay, 6. She's not a 4. Get out of here. She's not a 4. But her husband, I just don't think is conventionally. I would say she's conventionally attractive and he's not. And unfortunately, unless he's got like some swagger, you know what I mean? Like some game. Um, and also based on what I had heard at that time about the guys she had been with in the industry, he just didn't look like them. And I'm not saying like, do you know, I have different types, right? So I have like different archetypes of got like, you know, it's not like we all have just one type. Like we can find guys from different archetypes attractive, but again, I said I wish you the best, but I predict the worst. And they were clowning me, right? Josiah's here. Pearl also predicts the worst with the Moody's. I do, but I hope you guys really work it out. But unfortunately, I predict divorce for most of us. So none of you are really special. Statistically, I'll be divorced. You'll be divorced. We'll all be like single parents. All the people in the chat will come back at like 40 and we'll all just like chill out as single parents, right? I don't wish that. I don't hope that. But, I've just seen women better than me crash out after they get married, right? And have a kid. And I'm like, what is going on in your brain? Is this, when I have a kid, is that going to scramble my brain? I like to think not, but I think it's like worse to sell yourself a dream that you're going to behave perfectly, right? I like to think so, but everybody thinks that, you know what I mean? So anyways, oh, come on, Pearl. No, but we got to assume that we're all going to be statistics and hope you're not. Do your best to make sure you're not, but know it could happen to you. That way, if it happens, you won't die. You know what I mean? I saw this climber, and he's somebody that climbs like I don't know, really cool guy. He climbs mountains, and he says he's mentally thought about dying, falling off. And the reason he said that, he's like, because, if it might happen, you got to think about it. And I kind of think, I kind of like that idea where you have to think about what'll happen if the worst happens and will you survive, right? Brain scrambled after childbirth. The reality doesn't measure up to the fantasy. I think that's big. I think we got to stop talking about having kids. Like do you know what? There's a housewife I live by. I'm going to take this out because I keep having to. There's a housewife I live by growing up, and I'll ask her about having kids, and I can tell she actually raised her kids because she doesn't romanticize it at all. When women say, oh, it's this special, amazing, it's like these awesome feelings, that means I've given my kids to someone else. I hear that rhetoric from that blonde woman that works for the Daily Wire. I'm like, you got your parents or a nanny doing it for you. I just know it. But when the mothers actually have to do the work of raising the kids, they always put in like, I'm glad I had kids, but thank God that's over. Do you know what I mean? When she had boys, when she sent them off, she's like, see ya. It's not like this. Like, I think we got to stop romanticizing it. Like, it's actually going to be pretty difficult. It changes your whole life and the things you can do, right? But it's rewarding, fulfilling. But they're pretty annoying. They're cute, but annoying. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that would be just a more realistic. And I don't mean that to be mean, but I mean, they do. I just think a lot of times, the way we paint it's kind of like marriage is going to be this fairy tale. And I think it's a disservice to women. I think it is. Because you have gone from making decisions your way your entire life to him making all the decisions for you your entire life. And that is going to be a difficult change, and you're going to be responsible. There's a reason women prefer being side chicks. It's because there's no responsibility. You don't have to hang out with him all the time. I mean, there's a reason like young women especially will sign up for just sex with guys. A lot of the men are like, oh, women want commitment. No, because commitment comes with responsibility, right? If you're a wife or a girlfriend, you have the responsibility to not put yourself in certain situations. You have the responsibility to, be available at his beck and call, But when you're a side chick, it's like you can do whatever you want. And you kind of get all, in a way, side chicks, it's almost better because you get the man when he wants to have fun. So you almost get the best. And to be fair, I've never been a side chick. I've never been, but you could just imagine, well, I guess when I was younger, situationship, but not like do you know what I'm saying? Like no married man, not in that way. But okay, you can imagine, um, you get the best parts of it because the wife is gonna, be married and do all the boring stuff day to day. It's not exciting to see each other. He's gonna be so excited to see his 25-year-old side ting. That's what they would say in London. That ting. He's not gonna be that excited to see his wife. He'll love his wife, right? But it's just a different. The light in his eyes will just, when you're young and hot. Women love the show of being a good mother, but they don't want to actually do it correct. Side chicks get left to little to nothing as they get older. Well, yeah, because they had less responsibility. But you have to understand that's not necessarily true. Men do reward loyalty. They really do. Most guys, if they have a side chick over a certain amount of time, they will feel some responsibility towards her. They do get written in the wills. That does happen. Men do reward loyalty. So half of women don't actually love their kids. They just don't. I don't think many people know how to love. Yeah, look. Then that's like a second wife. Yeah, I mean, but remember, that's how it starts. I don't think men in general expect. I was thinking about this concept. Okay. I was thinking about this concept. I was speaking to somebody the other day, and they said, I said, I think women are actually wired for non-monogamy more than men. Like, I actually think women crave variety more than men. Now, maybe not all the time, but I think women naturally like to whore and men naturally actually like to be with one woman. I thought about this because, and the guy, he's like, well, do you want to eat the same foods every day? And then I respond, I'm like, men literally eat the exact same food every single day. Men love doing the same thing every day. They get pure joy out of doing, like, if you don't think men like routine, he's like, well, that's convenience. And I'm like, yeah, marriage is convenient. So I thought about it and I'm like, do you know what? Women hate routine. Women hate doing the same thing every day. Women like variety. Women like chaos. And I thought about it and I'm like, in a way, it almost seems like the natural order is we both have to overcome what we're naturally wired to do. So this is just a thought I'm playing with, where women have to overcome our chaos and go into monogamy and order, and men have to overcome their I don't know, like routine and stuff, and maybe be more fun, and then be more non-monogamous. Do you know what? I saw this channel, okay, and I can't remember their names. I think they wanted to come on. Maybe I will have them on. If I remember their name, I don't remember. But they were talking about how there's nothing in the Bible against that says a man have to be with one woman. And I thought about it, and I'm like, actually, I think I personally hate the idea of a second wife. I hate it. That makes me want to barf. I don't like the idea. I know I've said in the past that men and women cheating is different, and it completely is different. However, and there are cases I would work it out, right? I would. But I don't like that idea. It's not something I crave or want, but I have to be honest on a logical level, especially in this society, non-monogamy makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Or men having multiple wives, even from a Christian point of view. Okay. We have to admit, my perspective, I was talking to this girl the other day. She said every man can lead a woman. I'm like, oh hell no. You guys see that guy who had an OnlyFans model and he was like talking to the OF girl. There's too many simps. They can't tell the woman no. They can't give her instructions. Like, no. I don't think every guy needs a wife or was built to be a husband. Okay, I don't. So now that leaves us that not all men, or they're not ready. They're too young. They need to, they need to get their heart broken a few times before they can, put a bitch in her place. So anyways, it made me think about how, because they were saying, oh, well, you can't just have a society that's sleeping around and like the men running through women and da 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 da. And I'm like, well, the women are already run through. Like, okay, yes, there's a new crop of young women every year, but because the population is less and less with every age group, they're going to be more rare. And there's a ton of old women on the market. Let me actually pull up this slide showed from a year ago. I made this one a while ago. So, I mean, I think the way they're thinking is like from a traditional way. Like, yes, if you can get married, there's a couple recently that just got married, and here we go. And they were like 16 and 18, but that's not the society we're in. So we kind of got to work with what we got. So these are the three types of women, right? Mids, cute, chubby mids, old mids, upper beautiful, lower beautiful, socially awkward mid, ugly. So these guys, unless you can be ugly with frame, I do think ugly men can get, but let's just, oh my God, I forgot to share my screen. $2. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Okay. So, oh my God, it's been a mess. Okay. So these are the women on the market. We got uggos, hot women, mids. Okay. Sevens trying to be tens, chubby mids, old hot women, upper beautiful, lower beautiful, socially awkward mid, 8 to 10s. This is a mid guy who became upper mid. So look, like let's say Brad Pitt wanted to wife up Megan Fox, but Megan Fox was a single mom. He's not going to want to do that, but she wants to be under Brad Pitt's roof. He might think about it if he gets two. Like he might take a single mother if he's like, I can take an old mid, a single mom mid, and a childless mid. Then it's like less of a bad deal, Yeah, so you're saying there's conflict and jealousy. Yeah, I am not like I would not desire this. This would make me want to like. But then again, you almost look. I was actually thinking about it too. Most women don't really want to be around the husbands that much. Like it doesn't seem like women want to be around the men that much. So now you got women that don't want kids, right? So what do you do with them? You can't make her want to have a kid, but the average guy is making, let's say 50 grand a year. She can contribute 50 grand and they can all live under the same roof. I don't know. I think it kind of makes sense just from a logical point of view with what's on the market. Like you got all these old broads, not every guy wants more than one wife or has that capacity, but there are men that do. Like you have to admit, there are men that do have the capacity to lead more than one woman, right? They're just really good with whatever reason. They're really good with women. So. Kind of made sense. Is that crazy? Polygamy is for a few and chosen. Yeah, I'm not saying it's for everyone. But I'm just saying there are men that maybe would, like Brad Pitt. I mean, okay, Brad Pitt actually was monogamous for a while, but like it's just him as an example. A guy with that level of attract, like Leonardo DiCaprio, might be open to marriage if he could have more than one, you know. And it's like this guy who on the left couldn't get a wife at all. Then he becomes the guy on the right. Now, when he gets to pick, okay, like he can take a chubby girl, a 7 for his top wife. And it also allows, how do I put it? There could be a reward system for good behavior, right? There's an incentive for the women to behave well and, you know, be loyal anyways. But I actually think men are more monogamous than women. But all I'm saying is, like, okay, if on the market, you're looking at the market, there's like, you know, that would give a redemption path to, you know, all these subpar women. Like, you know, if you got an OnlyFans, no guy wants to make you his first wife. But if you get some humility, right, you know, and he has like a redemptive program for you, like, okay, you want to be part of my family? Here you go. This is what I need you to do. There's a path to redemption. And it's actually, in my opinion, I think it's more, the problem is these whores get to be first wives. I do actually think there should be a redemptive path for whores, but they just can't be the first wife. You got to be the second. That's a problem. That's the problem I have. So, anyways. All right, guys. So let's get into the topic today. Thank you guys for tuning in. So I have just been on the ball lately, predicting some things that are going on in the space. So again, I predicted, here we go, that this would end badly, right? I predicted this. I also predicted that, you know, Brittany Venti, loser, sleeps with cat pee on her floor, right? This woman, crazy woman. I knew that her and her friends would eat each other at some point because crazy is going to attack crazy. So this week, Chrissy Mayer, a woman who's, look, I have nothing personal against her anymore, but I will say she streamed about me for like 2 years. Crazy woman. And her friends would do stream after stream, just nitpicking my every existence. Crazy, old, bitter, you know, whatever. So apparently her and Brittany Venti had some disagreement about the quartering. I don't really care about the disagreement. It doesn't really matter to me. There's always going to be disagreements, right? But Brittany Venti is now attacking her. And the thing is, with crazy women, they're always going to give a good reason for why they're attacking. In their head, the reasoning will be really good for why they should destroy your reputation horrifically. So for whatever reason, they had a disagreement and Brittany Venti has gone full force. Now, mind you, these two women were best friends. And now she's making videos exposing her deepest, darkest secret. Like, think about how fucked up of a person you have to be to expose your best friends, even if you're disagreeing, deepest, darkest secrets. So apparently she's saying Chrissy Mayer did light sex work, turned their entire group against her, and they used to be best friends. So these is
not believe my ears when I heard this.
Funny, like, oh, like they're just like they're people too. It's like, which sounds so condescending, but I was like really right there. Like I had there was this.
I'm not even gonna go. But she's just attacked. It's character reputation destruction, right? They're fighting. I don't really want to watch the full thing because her videos are kind of boring. They're just not that entertaining. You know what I mean? So, anyways, her and Chrissy are going at it. They're going at it, best friends. And I told Chrissy this. I'm just not going to be fake with you, Chrissy. If you see this, not going to be fake with you. You deserve this. You absolutely deserve this because you guys did this to so many people and you would just have them on your stream, including me, right? So I hope you learned a lesson. You want me to... All right, you want me to... Doug MPA says to watch the first 3 minutes. It's just... I just like when content creators put a little more effort. You know, I think some of my hit piece, like ladies, they put in a lot more effort and I just don't like low quality. You know what I mean?
Summer where I was like in between jobs and I got like pretty desperate. Like I was in Craigslist and I was like a sneeze away from being a sex worker, like truly like
a sneeze away, she says. And we're going to find out that she actually did sneeze in a moment. I don't know when this clip is from, though. I would love to know the date on this. But in any case, she implies that...
Mind you, Venti probably for years, and I'm like, Chrissy, I don't know how you didn't see this coming, has stacked like evidence to just destroy your friend. And I'm gonna explain the psychology behind
this. Was before, like a long time before. I don't know how much before.
I was like meeting up. I was gonna work this like private like orgy thing like that. And I can't believe I got this all like from Craigslist. Like this was all like 2014, which you would think would be like Craigslist would be over by then. But I was just, you know, it was like, oh, you're gonna make like $1,000 a shift. And I was like, 1,000, that sounds good. That's rent. And they're like, you know, pass out towels. And if you want to like jump in, go for it. And I was already kind of like messing around with like couples. So I was like, oh, why don't I just get paid to do the stuff I'm already doing?
So she was doing it for free, messing around with couples. So she's a swinger. No wonder she was covering for Jeremy, huh? Chrissy Mayer was a swinger.
Couple. So I was like, oh, why don't I just get paid to do the stuff I'm already doing? But it was like scary. Like I remember I met up with this guy at like a hotel bar at like 11 a.m.
The men, like these men have to have poker faces all the time with all the fucked up stuff we say. Now, to be fair, you know, she did do this to herself by saying it publicly, but it's like, it's women can never talk again, right? If I don't like you, I just am going to pretty much ignore you. We can never speak again. We can just never talk and I don't have to dig your, you know, we don't have to, I'm certainly not perfect. I don't need, you know, we don't have to do this. Right. But women are just kind of crazy. I think it's because they don't have hobbies. They should really get some.
And he just kept like giving me...
Who meets people at a bar at 11 a.m.?
Drinks, but I was like filling out this paperwork. He was young, really good looking. And it was like all very shifty. And he was like, all right, well, you have to get like an STD test through like our doctor.
Well, you know, at least she's reminiscing. At least he was good looking. Am I right, guys?
Wow. And
mind you,
like it was all...
This is a woman with nudes on the internet. She denies them. She pretends they're not real, right? Because that's what women do. They'll say like, "Oh, it's totally fake," and like when they actually have dirt, right? So YouTubers do this all the time. They say, "Oh, we're fake fighting," like when you actually did fight. And so, but just imagine, like she's on the high horse with nudes on the internet, cat pee on her floor, attacking this woman and saying, "You did the." It's like, who are you? Do you know what I mean?
Well, it all seems like pretty official. And then at one point,
yeah, it makes sense why she swept for Ricada too. You're so right, chat.
He like took me into the bathroom and he was like, well, we have to take pictures of your body. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like that should have been like the red flag where I was like, get out of here, Chrissy, get out. But I was like, I really need money. Yeah. So I like went into the...
So I want to remind you guys at this point that in our last stream where we covered her on Cecil's stream, she admitted to being broke. She said, oh, if people call me grifters, but if only they knew how broke I was. And it's like, Thank you for announcing that you're desperate and easy to take advantage of. And clearly, she really will do anything for money.
This is the type of nagging that drives men to suicide. I swear to God. Bruh.
She's saying it here. She was willing to suck and for money. She will stoop low for money. So yeah, I think it's fair to question her integrity considering how long of a track.
Again, a woman with nudes on the internet bashing on her ex-best friend, talking about integrity. Like, it's just women don't even see, anyways. Like, they don't even see the
track record this is. Like, how old is this clip?
Fuck, like that should have been like the red flag. Where I was
He
like,
was
get out of
16.
here, Chrissy, get out. But I was like, he like took me into the bathroom and he was like, well, we have to take pictures of your body. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like that should have been like the red flag where I was like, get out of here, Chrissy, get out. But I was like, I really need money.
Yeah.
So I like went into the bathroom with this guy and he just like took all kinds of like nude photos and like
So he actually took her nudes.
bruh.
This is straight up prostitution.
pretty sure that it was neck down. Like I'm 90% sure.
The guys are like, why are you saying that?
But it just like, and then I think I ended up like blowing the dude in the bathroom
Oh my God, why would you say that on live?
because I was like, I really need this job. But he
So she gave him extra too? So now
Okay, but again, this girl's got nudes on the internet. So okay. These girls were best friends. That is crazy, dude.
not only is she a whore, she's a cheap one. She actually got on her knees and begged.
Bruh, this girl's crazy. So, anyways, now the next story that went viral, saw this, was Amy Dangerfield. Now, Amy Dangerfield was a right-wing e-girl. And actually, Amy Dangerfield had a 10-year relationship. Allegedly, everyone's saying now that she slept around after. They're alleging also light sex work, maybe a sugar daddy. And she's just getting cooked on Twitter. I don't really want to go into every single. We should know less about each other. Yeah, I know. So Amy Dangerfield gets exposed by her ex-roommate and a girl she did a threesome with. And I watched this clip and I just couldn't even believe it. Actually, I'm going to message Beardson. See if he wants to come on.
So she was so what you're saying is that she was like sexting.
So this is what again, these girls were best friends. They were best friends. And now look at this.
So she was so what you're saying is that she was like sexting other guys like while they were dating. Like maybe they weren't engaged yet, but they were like dating.
I don't know where the lines overlap. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know for sure where the line. I just know for certain she definitely lied to him about which guys she had previously fucked. And then also was still like texting them. So yeah, she was cheating. She was cheating. And then also on my birthday, I was like, hey man, because I was in Miami, I assumed they hadn't thrown away all my fucking shit yet. And so I was going on a cruise, embarking from Miami. So I was like, hey bro, like I'm in Miami. Can I pick up my camera while I'm here? Because you haven't sent it to Texas yet. And he was like, oh, which one? I was like, I forget which one is Amy's and which one is mine. Ask Amy, like she'll tell you. And he's like, oh, actually, and then he calls me and he's like, yeah, we actually broke up. She violated my trust in a way that like it can never be repaired. Like I don't think we're not going to get married. Like the engagement's off. And I was like, oh, what?
Oh, sorry, we got a super chat. Somebody was.
Go ahead, just read it.
Or
let it.
I mean, it said it's from the Nutter with $3. It says, Lauren, you have nice breasts. I don't want to read this. It gets a little more graphic.
Read the sip chat. I want to hear it.
All right, it says, Lauren, you have nice breasts. I would love to cover them in my huge load, is what it says.
Thanks, babe. All right. So, yeah, no, legit. He said that they broke up. She violated his trust. And then I was like, okay, whatever. So I didn't get my fucking camera for the trip, which would have been nice. But then come back from the trip, and next thing I know, I'm seeing wedding pictures with the fucking Nazi there, and I wasn't even fucking told about this goddamn wedding. I was supposed to be the maid of honor. What happened to that? I guess that I was pissed.
You didn't
about
even
her
get
not
to attend
paying me
it?
back. What?
So you didn't even get to attend the wedding? Like you weren't even there?
No, she didn't tell anyone. That's the thing. Like, what about Pixie? Fine, be mad at me for holding you accountable for not paying me back financially and for becoming a Nazi, but Pixie never did shit to you, Amy.
Like, again, do you guys not see how unlikable you are? Use the Kanye method, put everything on live so you can't be blackmailed. Dude. Like, do you see this nagging? And by the way, we don't know the other girl's side of the story, right? We don't know Amy's side of the story. So, you know,
Pixie was always a 100 friends. Why didn't you invite Pixie?
so okay, let me get this straight. The big crime against you is you didn't get invited to the wedding. Really? Let me get this straight. That's worth blowing up your friend's spot because of money, which, look, if I lend anybody money, I literally expect not to get it back. That's you being retarded. Okay. I do not give anybody money that I can't lose. If I give you money, I get to see your character after. Then, the next thing she says, she wasn't invited to a wedding. Like, I just think women need to get more hobbies. I don't care. I mean, how long were they even I mean, honestly, I'm thinking about it. I think there'd be one girl I'd be offended if she didn't invite me to her wedding. And it's because we've been friends like 28 years. That would be, but even her, if she wanted to elope with her boyfriend, whatever. Like, I don't care. Okay, that's the crime. And what's crazy, Beardsit, I don't know why. I told him he could come on. I'm like, why did the men never push back when these women gossip like this?
Why didn't you invite any of your friends from Valuetainment? What happened to all of them? Was it because every single one of them told you it was a bad idea to go down the route you're currently going down and you didn't want to hear it? And instead you wanted to pander up to some pedo Nazi Isabel?
Okay. Isn't that kind of valid? Like, if everybody is telling you not to marry a guy, then why would you invite them to the wedding? Like, you know, they're not in support. I'm like listening to this. I'm listening to this stream and I'm like, this chick is crazy. And I don't know about you guys. And a lot of times the women, I think, like gossiping look worse than the women that did it. I don't know. Because I'm like, wait, okay.
Who met her husband when he was 15, you dumb fuck? Oh.
Yeah, that's an ouch. That's an ouch. I'm not a fan of the Moody's either, to be fair. I think they're crazy too, and there's a lot of weird shit with them. But yeah, it's crazy that she wouldn't even invite you to the wedding. I mean,
Didn't even tell me about it.
When would you?
I've known about the gossip that she's gonna put out. I've known about this for like 3 years. I've known about it. Do you know what's funny? I texted one of the Amy girl's friends and I said, yo, please stop putting up your wedding. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, this is going to go bad for you. Do not do it. But she did it.
You say that you guys started like fighting and beefing. Like, when was it like the animosity really like built? Like, was it after you moved out? Sort of. That's when it's like, okay, now
we were gaining animosity as the second she started dating Daniel. We started gaining animosity. She started like not feeling sorry for borrowing my money and not caring. She stopped caring about the like nasty things that she would say to me. Or I do have autism, and sometimes that causes me to be socially weird. And she doesn't care about, you know, making fun of me for having autism or making fun of like past relationships of mine that fell apart because of that. And like,
okay. It sounds like actually Amy was probably reasonable and said, look, you can't blame your failed relationships on being autistic. You know what I mean?
Like, we were friends at the time. What the fuck are you doing? Like, bringing me down when I'm doing nothing but lifting you up, bitch. So that's when we started fighting. As soon as she didn't need me financially anymore, she started treating me really shitty, like out of nowhere.
And you don't know the other side of the story. Like, remember, this is a crazy woman. This is like very obviously a crazy, like these women, I get scared to cover them because they're that clinically insane. And they'll just, this girl, I swear, came up to me at this event and was like trying to be my friend. I'll be nice to you, but girl, I am avoiding you. You are nuts. You are nuts.
Because she was nice before that. She was nice when she needed me. She was nice when every time she was sad or every time a guy stood her up on a date, I would come home with her favorite Thai food. She was nice to me when I would be there for her when she needed me. But then when she got a boyfriend who paid for all of her shit and did that, she didn't need that anymore. So she started being a bitch to me.
Maybe it wasn't, maybe the boyfriend just clocked that you were crazy. I bet you that's what happened. I would bet my life. No, I don't want to die. I would bet. I'm very confident that the boyfriend said, "Look, you got to cut this friend. You got to cut this friend." And she said, "All right." And I'm going to explain the reasoning why, like this girl would do that.
Which is like, that doesn't make sense. And so then I started being a bitch to her. And then she took over the whole living room, which was like crazy. She like wouldn't even let me. It was my fucking apartment.
Like, how did she like not let you use the living room? Like, was just like, get out of here.
Like, no, she would just like invite a bunch of people over and then be like super bitchy to me if I was in the room. So like, it wouldn't be like, ew, you can't be in here, but it would make me so uncomfortable and then say nasty things about me. And then also texting Jew jokes to each other, which it's fine. If you want to be a Nazi, fine. But they.
Okay. So, but again, she's not directly saying exactly what she said. Like, Beardson, what are you doing in this clip? You're not asking any question. Like, you got to ask her, well, what specifically did she do? Like,
to be like texting nasty Jew jokes and then like accidentally send one to me. She sent like me a nasty Holocaust joke and like, oops, that was meant to go to Mike. Like, what?
Okay, so let me get this straight. Amy's crime. Actually, I'll message Amy. I am covering the clip. If you want to come on, I'll see.
She would do weird shit like that. And then got worse when she got engaged. Eventually, I just was like, hey, like maybe we're fighting a lot because we've been like in too close of proximity. Maybe the space will make it better. So I moved to Texas and we moved.
Oh no, she's in my state. Oh no, I better not. Oh, God, please be in fucking Houston. Stay away. Stay away from me. Stay away.
When I moved out, I made things on good terms because she had all my shit still. So I didn't want her to fucking dump it, which is what she ended up doing. But I was like, hey girl, like, you know, like I mended things. I did. Yeah. And we were on good terms. And then she forgot my fucking birthday after I had reminded her about my birthday. After I was like, hey, I want my camera so I could take pictures on my fucking birthday trip. That one. So after she forgot my birthday, she texted me this huge apology. And I was like, you're a bad friend. You've been a bad friend. And then she just like never messaged me again. And then she became a fucking Nazi. And then she.
Okay. So let me get this straight. You crashed out on her because she didn't invite you to her wedding and she forgot your birthday. That is worth airing out all of her secrets? Really? And it's not like Amy's listed all the ways this girl was a bad friend.
She dumped all my shit. I still don't have my chessboard. I still don't have my camera. I still don't have a lot of things. Wow. I had this like cute little chair that my mom bought me. I had a pillow that said "Call your mother" that I really liked that my mom bought.
Oh no, not a pillow! Like, I don't know who this woman is or the other one. I mean, they're e-girls, right? It's just okay. So what happened was Amy Dangerfield got out of a 10-year relationship, right? So she was with a different guy. She's an e-girl. I'll show you. Let me go back to this. It was the couple I showed you guys earlier. She's an e-girl, was dating some Hawaiian dude for 10 years, got out of that relationship, slept around a little bit, and then got married after. And then one of the guys she slept with, or maybe, I think she made the second husband wait. But I don't think this is really something that abnormal. Like, one in the chat, do women kind of go a little feral and crazy after 10-year relationships? I'm not saying it's good, right? I'm not saying it's a great thing. I'm not saying they should. But do you think out of all of the women criticizing her, you don't think any of them slept around after a long relationship? None of them. Zero of them did any, really, truly. So why are we bringing this to the public? And I'll tell you why later. Then there's this other girl who I guess I know Xena. Nothing against Xena. You guys scare me. You know what I mean? Sorry. You guys, but here, so she's saying,
you didn't cover up that second name in the leaked text with Amy very well. We all know it's Myron, ha ha ha.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, sure it is.
Yeah, I guess. And then she's saying, me and Sneeko, like, I guess she had a threesome with Sneeko and Amy, and now they're releasing texts. What I mean, when you get to releasing texts, it's just not good. Not good, you know what I mean? Anyways. So the next story we're going to go into is, okay. Now the next story, the next pattern we're going to talk about is ABBA and Preach. ABBA has virtue signaled for years, made countless hit pieces. At least they're a little bit better edited than Britney Venti. Like, it's just my haters. I at least appreciate the thumbnails on ABBA's. I mean, they pick some good angles of me, in my opinion. So, but ABBA has virtue signals for years about living admirably, and apparently he got 4 women pregnant in the last few months. Sent a fake STD test after he criticized Fresh for getting a hooker pregnant. And all these women are coming forward saying that ABBA got them pregnant, right? And releasing texts and videos. So that's another one, right? And the third one is Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy. So I'm going to tie this all together. They don't seem like they go together yet, but they do. They do. Just wait. Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy is she's just a super slut. So when she was young, she had a video talking about how to give guys good head. And that video probably saved a lot of relationships, probably started a lot of relationships. She taught the Gluck Gluck 9000. And she was very open about her sexual escapades. She was really popular. I remember when I was like 22, her stuff was everywhere. And just, she was just a big influence on young women back then, because it's like this pretty blonde girl and you almost get to live her life with her. She's like a blonde girl living in one of the coolest cities in the world to women, which is New York. And she's flying across the world. Like I remember one vlog is her going to Paris and staying with a random guy in Paris. She's like hanging out with Major League Baseball players, a life I was never hot enough to experience. But she's very openly being a whore, right? So in Alex Cooper's case, there's nothing to air out because it's all out there. It's absolutely all out there. Now, conservatives are kind of freaking out because they feel as though Alex Cooper has lied. Because Alex Cooper, right? She got married and got pregnant. So this is her pregnancy photos. Sometimes I'll retweet stuff. There was an original tweet, which I think that he deleted, but saying that Alex Cooper is lying to women because she's living traditionally. There's a whole round of right-wing e-girls saying, oh, Alex Cooper is, she's living in a traditional way. She has found the key to happiness, which is family. And she's lying to her audience. And I'm like, guys, I don't think she's lying at all. And this tweet kind of summarized it. Her philosophy is use your 20s to hook up, party, give 0 rips, and if you find the right person along the way, great. The problem with this, outside of the obvious one, not keeping sex sacred, is that many women get caught up in that lifestyle well into their 30s, wondering what they did wrong and why most men don't want to marry a thought. And they're not hot enough to get away with it, right? I'm not saying Alex Cooper is a 10, but I'd give her, she's conventionally attractive. I'd say 6, 7. Modern American woman is fat. And it's actually pretty normal it used to be men and women, now it's just women, to sow their wild oats, hook up and how many people found love by getting drunk at a party and sleeping with their husband, right? She's succeeding in sirens to young women believing they can have it all. There's no revenge fantasy. A lot of women will get it all, and it's not going to be fair. All the whores I knew in school are married. All of them. I'm going to react to this guy's take on the situation because I thought it was good. I told him he could come on.
And before I go into that, Alex Cooper of the Call Her Daddy podcast is married and they're expecting the very first baby. Now, some say this is hypocritical because the content on their podcast is the exact opposite of.
So did they marry alphas or betas? I don't know. I'm not friends with them. I just see that they're married on Facebook. I'd say the guys are conventionally attractive, though. Alpha or beta, it's like they're not going to be happy either way. You know what I mean? The damage is internal, not external. But there's some idea that bad people always get repercussions, or if they make poor choices, there's repercussions. A lot of times there's no repercussions. Or maybe I'm old, but I'm saying I don't know if they'll be together when the girls are like 40 or 50. You know, I'm not saying they'll stay married. I'm just saying they're married now.
The life she's living. However, I don't think that's an accurate take. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, or welcome to Uncle ABL. And in today's video, we're talking about Alex Cooper, the host of Call Her Daddy podcast, posting a pregnancy photo shoot with her husband, Matt Kaplan. So this is going to be her very first baby at age.
Now you could call him a simp, right? But can we just be honest? This is better than a lot of women can do. You could say, oh, he's a simp. I'm sorry. He mogs most of you. I'm going to be honest. She mogs me, right? She mogs me. But that's a conventional chat. You have to understand whores because the more women have whored, it's really only chads. They like an innocent woman will have sex with a beta. I would even say innocent women have sex with betas more because when women sleep with more people, then like the more alpha the guys have to do. That's why, black women, they have to sleep with criminals. They have to. It's like they have no choice. Once they've been pumped and dumped, it's got to be criminals. So, but anyway, so you got to think it like to some degree, it's a numbers game. It's like a numbers. if you throw that punani out there, yeah, you could say he's a beta Chad, but I mean, just objectively, can we just be objective here? Oh my God, only a simp would marry her. Well, how do you know your wife didn't do something? At least he could put her on alimony. Do you know what I mean? Like, men are logical. They have reasons for doing things. He gets Gluck 9,000, and if she leaves, he can put her on alimony. I don't think that's like the biggest simp ever. I really don't.
With her husband, Matt Kaplan. So this is going to be her very first baby at age 32, I believe. Now, some say this is hypocritical because her podcast promotes the exact opposite lifestyle.
That guy isn't a Chad. She's settled. You look better than that guy. You look better. Okay. All right.
Of what she's living. But like I said from the beginning, I don't really agree with that take. I think that take is incorrect.
Yeah, a lot of Chads. I mean, the best looking guy at my school, he ended up, I don't know if they're married, but he's been with I don't want to say the best looking because he wasn't to me, but like I remember he banged a lot of girls on my team, but he ended up with a girl with like a sleeve, like, and I didn't wish this to be true. I was actually kind of disappointed when I found this out. I'm like, because you think, but I'm not saying it'll turn out, but yeah, that's the other thing. A lot of times, the couples, what'll happen is they'll be friends with benefits for years. And then, Chad goes over and he's like, well, this whore has been here for like on and off for like 5 years. I guess I'll take her.
And before I go into that, let's back up a little bit. Some of y'all are like, hey, ABL, who is this lady? Why do I care? What's going on? Let me explain. Alex Cooper is the host of the Call Her Daddy podcast. Among women, this is the most listened to podcast in the world. Among women, specifically. A very important podcast. You got a lot of big guests on there, movie stars. Charlize Theron was on there recently. She kind of went viral for her take. Karol G, the music star. She even interviewed Kamala Harris during her campaign. This podcast.
Can you imagine wearing that to interview Kamala Harris? Women are incredible. You don't even have to wear like clothes to go. Okay. Clav's judge is a mogger. Yeah, I saw that. Clav did get mogged.
As is a big deal. Now, on the podcast, I can't say that I'm an avid viewer, but from the clips I've seen, from what I know, there's a lot of feminist stuff on there, a lot of modern woman stuff on there. Hey, do whatever you want in your 20s or even beyond that. But in your 20s especially, don't get married, don't have children, do whatever you want to do, live life, have fun. That's the general message. However, the message is not that you can't get married, that you can't have children. It's a matter of doing whatever you want to do before. And in the case of Alex Cooper, she got married in 2024, right when she turned 30 years old. It was like she had it down to a science. Okay, between 18 and 30.
Okay. She settled, but she can't admit it. Otherwise, everyone in the public shill is exposed to a lie. Hey, guys, yes, but women like her, they're not going to be happy with anybody. Oh, but Pearl, they're not going to get the husbands that they want. It's like, well, they're not. Like, they could get the husband they want, and they still won't want him. Unhappiness is our constant. We got Tom Brady and said, The woman could get Leonardo. I bet there's a woman that had a chance to marry Leonardo DiCaprio and was like, no, that's too much risk.
I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to be at the college dorm parties, at the frat, the black guys, the white guys, football players, baseball players.
for 5 to 10 years, that might work. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, but we're all in subscription. So it's like, oh, the marriage is going to end. I mean, did your last relationship make it? Or is your marriage going to last forever? I mean, you're watching my show. You're watching my show. It obviously hasn't gone that well for you either. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, a 10-year subscription, that's like the new marriage. It's like a 10-year subscription. My folks are married. Are you? Are you? I know you're not. I know. None of us are. I mean, this is the new world. And to think you're above statistics is just like silly. It's just silly. Failure in the dating market is a teacher of humility. Yeah, for men, but women will never be humble. I mean, we know this, we know this. Party hard with Tyrone and get married at 35. Why wouldn't you? Someone will do it. No, but Pearl, nobody will do it. That'll never happen. Nobody. Really. I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to do it. Uh-huh. Beauty queen, would you fold? I wouldn't fold. Uh-huh. Again, it's like me saying the only thing I want to know is show me the girl you didn't fold for and show me how hot she was. So
I'm gonna travel all over the world. I'm gonna be on the yacht with an old man about 85 years old when I'm 22. I'm gonna do all the things, but then once I get to be 30, now I'm gonna settle down and be your wife.
I think the goal is to marry the guy on the yacht, You got to get the guy on the yacht. I've never been on a yacht, but if I got on a yacht, who's the owner here? Who's the owner? Is there an owner here? Oh, wow. Do you know what? The strategy has to be, do you know what? Nowadays, you're not going to get commitment. But if men bust a load in you enough, then they tend to get attached. So you're just going to want to let the yacht owner bust a load in you and get pregnant. Yeah. Now, I know what you're saying, Pearl. You can't tell women to baby trap a guy. It's effective. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm not, my parents met because my mom got pregnant immediately. And I was like, Mom, why didn't you tell me to do that? I was like, yeah, Mom, why you should have just told me to. And then I was like, my little sister's named Eva. I'm like, Eva, let's download Tinder right now. This was years ago. We were messing. But I'm like, download Tinder right now. We're getting pregnant. I'm just kidding. We didn't actually do it, but you know what I mean? It's the concept. And then my mom and dad were like, no, that doesn't work. You can't say that. And I'm like, was it effective? You guys you're still together. My dad's like, that didn't work. I'm like, really? Were you thinking marriage when you guys met? Well, no, I was just, but you were after. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that's not the right thing to do. Do you think women care about the right thing to do? We're talking about what's most effective. It's like, if you want the most effective thing to get women, take TRT. Oh, but Pearl, there's side effects and problems. Well, I said, what's the quickest way to do it? Take some testosterone. Cheat. You know what I mean? Oh, but Pearl. It's like, well, I just don't like it when we act like people that cheat always have consequences. Maybe I'm not old enough yet. Maybe I'll get older, but that's just not what I've seen. I think people that fuck everybody over have consequences, but I've seen girls get plastic surgery. It changed their life in terms of their job prospects. So.
And then 2 years later, I have a baby. That, in my humble opinion, is a feminist dream.
I don't want to be with a guy because I got pregnant. Guess you don't want to do what it takes. Look, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm not saying it's the most effective way to go about it, but it is the quickest, you know. So, and abortion's legal. Again, I would never get an abortion. I'm not even advising this, but I'm just talking about like from a strategy point. Can we talk strategy and take morality out of it? Like, I am not advising this. I am not. I think abortion is like despicable. I think it's completely despicable. I think it's disgusting. I do think it's murder. But if we're going from a strategy point of view, if you get pregnant, right? And if he really won't stick around for the kid, then you can just abort it, right? You could, just from a strategy point of view. I wouldn't do it. I have never done it. I think it's way too easy to not get pregnant, but it's a strategy. When I propose, I'm going to ask her to be a 10-year subscription. That would be more accurate. There's consequences. The results start to happen around 40 to 50. All choices have consequences. It's possible. Okay, what's worse, a single mother or abortion? Men will probably say single mother, but I think men's choices is going to be abortions. I think when it comes down to the wire, men would take a woman without a kid because she killed another guy's kid, not yours. Where now you have to raise another guy's kid. There's some primal, you know what I mean? Like when they took the mothers from the trial, like when they stole a guy's bitch, they did kill her kids. So I just don't think that's I don't think that's really a deterrent. I know most on abortion is 1,000 times. That's what they say, right? But I just don't really watch because again, the abortion girl's going to get in the door and men get attacked. Like you have to understand, it's easy to say, oh, he won't wife that girl because X, Y, and Z. But men do get attached when they bust enough loads in a girl. Oh, but men don't get attached through sex. Maybe not once, but men do get attached to women they bang for a while. If they bang for a long enough time. I mean, they get possessive pretty fast. So, you know, when you see her positive traits, she's really good to you. You find out later that she had an abortion 3 years ago. I think more men are willing to, you know, stick it up. And I'm telling you, I went to pro-life. I remember being 12 arguing on the playground about abortion. I remember being 12 years old arguing on the playground about abortion. I've never had one. I never will have one. If I get pregnant, I'm just, you know, that kid's coming. Baby Tyrone, you know what I mean? You know, but it's absolutely disgusting, but we have to be honest. We have to be honest here. So it's not an ineffective way to go about it. That's all.
So when people say that it's hypocritical for her to do this while having that kind of content on her podcast that's totally feminist, totally modern, totally anti-family, it's not hypocritical because this is what they want to do. Now, let's take a look at Miss Alex Cooper right quick. Let's take a look. Now, for a white woman, she's very pretty. No disrespect, no hate. That's just not my cup of tea. I'm not really a milkman like that. Okay, if I'm gonna get into a white woman, if I'm gonna get into the white woman space, I need her to be, kind of tall, 5'10", 5'11", a little bit bigger, not a fat white woman, but like think about a tennis player. Okay, give me like a 6 foot tall Russian tennis player. Yeah, give me that for a young lady. This right here, certain kind of guys will love it, but it's just not really my cup of tea. Her husband and a bunch of other guys, from what I've been able to ascertain, love it. So if they like it, I love it. It's totally fine. But my point behind
would you feel okay if the guy was only like you because you were pregnant? I don't know. When you have genuine desire for a guy, you act so crazy that you don't really give a shit why he's there. You just want him so bad. That's how it feels. I don't know. If you've been in love, like Elena, you look kind of young. Have you been really in love? Like when men, once they have a genuine burning desire from a girl, it's very difficult for them to go down. Because when you have that, it's like you just don't care at all. You're like, oh, I want you there. Why? It's like an animalistic. That's infatuation, not love. Well, potato, tomato, tomato. I would say genuine desire is kind of like that. Maybe it's genuine infatuation and love comes later. We could go on semantics, but we all know what I'm talking about, We all know what when you're in that mode, you don't care. You're like, I want to be here so bad. Just give me attention. Give me attention. Oh no, he's only there because I got pregnant. Look it. The other option is he's only there for sex, at least, And then he's stuck, right? So then now you can just be a good person. And now you have the burden of performance the rest of your life to be a good wife, right? I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm not even suggesting it. But men, when a woman has a man's kid, I'm sorry, but that is a level of like bond a man has to a woman that is very difficult to compete with. It's why men like allow themselves to be completely effed over by their ex-wives because like, she had my kid. She had my child, so.
and showing us is that how she looks, because a lot of women who are going to follow her may think they can do what she does. They may think they could just do whatever they want in their 20s. Okay, they can go to Dubai, have some chic, relieve himself on her for whatever kind of money that they want to get. And then once they're done doing that, they come back home and then they just, become a princess and live happily ever after. But you got to ask yourself a few questions. Okay, first of all, do you look like Alex Cooper? All right. Do you have that?
I have green eyes. Do we look alike? Don't say it. I know she's hotter than me. Don't say it. I know.
That prettiness to you.
I wish I had hair like hers. My hair is just so thin.
Is that what you look like? Also, are you interviewing Kamala Harris? Are you talking to movie stars, TV stars, music stars? Do you have a bunch of money? Do you have the top podcast in the whole world among women? Okay. And if you don't have that,
thank you for the $5. As I said, I'll beat her a lot this month because last month was pretty bad. So you know what I mean? I'll be here a lot.
You got to ask yourself if you can continue to live your lifestyle just out there doing whatever you want to do. And then once you get to be 32 years old, get married, have a baby. Most women are not going to be able to accomplish that. So that really is message here. Are you going to be able to accomplish your goal? And for most women, the answer is no. You know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is they will find somebody.
I'd actually say, could you stay thin till that age? A lot can get done if you can stay thin.
To settle down with much later, and it won't be who they want. They're not going to be happy, or they'll just not have anybody at all. They'll find themselves at 30 years old trying to find a husband. They not going to be able to do it like she did. Hey, she found somebody, but again, look, here we are. Okay, do you look like that? Okay, again, not my type, but a lot of guys out there, they love it. Here she is out there, Bravo, in front of us, up and repeat for TV. Okay, are you on TV? Films? Do you got the top podcast in the world? Is that you? Is that you? Do you have that type of reach? Do you have that kind of money? You probably don't. Your regular everyday Joe, you and I watching this video are not going to be in that world. The elites of us are always going to be able to get married if they want to. Your top 10%, 5%, 1%. In the case of Alex Cooper, she's part of the 1%, maybe even the fraction of 1%. They're going to be able to get married. They're going to be able to be together despite what they do when they're young, despite the reckless choices they made when they were young, despite maybe even being a Playboy playmate, a Taz Angel, whatever. They're going to be able to get what they want. But a regular everyday woman who might have been a stripper at a certain point or whatever, it's going to be much more difficult. So they're going to find themselves 30 years old, not finding a husband, 32 years old, not finding a husband. And it's going to get to the point where it's desperation that sets in, and they do things like become a single mother on purpose. I saw one woman, and shout out to her. I'm not trying to attack her. So I'm going to just say it as an example. Ebony K. Williams, really, really pretty woman. I've seen her quite a bit out there. She has had some TV placements, somebody that you recognize, somebody that you may know. I've done videos about her before on my regular channel. So this is somebody that has, some cash.
Okay, I think that's enough from him, but you get the point. So now let's go through all of this stuff together. Okay. Well, how does this all tie together? The women beefing, Alex Cooper. So I've created something called a tier of hoes. Let me slide the slideshow. Make sure this is up on StreamYard. Tier of hoes. So there's tier 1 hoes. Okay, so we have tier 1 hoes. Now, the number is tier 1 is how hoish they are. So a 1 for hoe is a tier 1 hoe. Now, a tier 1 hoe is women that are absolutely cooked. They are drama filled. They're maybe Amber Rose. They've burnt their reputation either from being too crazy, like Amy Dangerfield's friend, the E-Girl's friend who was calling Beardson. That girl's super crazy, so she's a tier 1 hoe. She also, if you bang somebody super ugly, like Destiny, that's a tier 1 hoe. If a nudes end up on the internet nowadays, it's weird. Like the Overton windows shifted a little bit. Remember, every year, like the tier 1 hoes get worse. Like as women get worse, it takes more to become a tier 1 hoe. So like when I was in high school, I remember a girl's nude leaked, and that was kind of like the end of the world. That girl, like it was not our high school, but like a neighboring, and her life was like over. But now, like a nude on the internet, not that big of a deal. There's so many new, like, what's her face? I wouldn't consider that girl in the Hunger Games a tier 1 hoe, and I think her nudes are online. I've never seen it, but I think. Tier 1 hoes have tattoos a lot of the time. They've done sex work. And they can burn their reputation so bad that they can't go back, but some do go back a little bit. Like Amber Rose right now, she's a tier 1 hoe trying to make it to be a tier 2 hoe. That's why she's kind of rebranded a little bit, right? Now, tier 1 hoes have to tear apart tier 2 hoes. They have to. Now, tier 2 hoes, I'm going to get more in depth, but a tier 2 hoe is women that have a little bit of a past, but they could still get married, right? Like Taylor Swift, because of how she carries herself and she doesn't dress super slutty, and she's not super vulgar, right? She still can get married. Alex Cooper is really vulgar, but she kind of has the I don't know, mom look, no tattoos. And I think she stopped hoeing for a bit when she met her husband. So there's like a transition period. Candace Owens, again, she got married in her 30s. Over a certain age, like Jedediah Bila, you guys just aren't innocent. You know what I mean? So like, I never buy that they did nothing, and it's just kind of stupid. Sarah Stock, again, she banged her boss, but that's just not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? I know, like, on the internet, it makes it seem like, oh my God, she banged her, but that's kind of like water has wet the sky. She cheated on her boyfriend with her boss. At like 22, she could still kind of go back from that. Not to say it's right, but she's not like Bonnie Blue, who banged 1,000 people, the slut walk, Brittany Renner, who's like, wrote a book about the NBA, Ashley St. Clair talking about Elon Musk and like crashing out on Twitter. So tier 1 hoes, their jealousy of a tier, they have to tear apart tier 2 hoes. So that's like Brittany Venti, right? She's got nudes on the internet, and she's just known to be really crazy in the industry, like absolutely insane. So she's a tier 1 hoe. And so her friend gets married, right? And that's why I keep telling women, if you're a tier 2 hoe, stop posting your boyfriends or your husband. Stop posting yourself being happy, because tier 1 hoes will destroy you. I don't think it's a coincidence that right after the tier 2 hoes, Chrissy Mayer, right? The sex work, even though that's pretty hoey, it wasn't public, right? And she just doesn't have a super hoe vibe. You know what I mean? And Amy, is a tier 2, like, a 10-year relationship, you hoe for a year. Most guys will kind of deal with that if you're that attractive. And there's no evidence, like, I'm not trying to minimize it. I know how men feel about it, but I want to be realistic with what men in the dating market accept. Okay, I want to be realistic. Tier 2 hoes over a certain age, there's just going to be an assumption of some promiscuity, even if no evidence. So if you're over 25, you're a tier 2 hoe. Sorry. All of them will destroy you. That's true. But some are more embarrassing to wife, right? Like, this is obviously, like, Bonnie Blue is more embarrassing than Taylor Swift. Like, we're going to keep it a buck here. We're going to keep it a buck. Okay. Tier 1 versus tier 2. Oh, wait, hold on. Tier 1 hoes, you cannot tell anything or keep them around you. They're agents of chaos, and anything you tell a tier 1 hoe, they'll remember forever, right? That's why Ashley St. Clair is going on podcast. Like, she has a whole TikTok detailing everybody's bit dirt, because when they go down, they cannot go down alone. They have to take everybody with them. All it takes is one wrong word or move to crash out, like not inviting a woman to a wedding or a birthday. That's incredible. Now, tier 1 versus tier 2, it matters the frequency of the hoeing, the place, and how long. Like, for example, men are good people. They're just really nice. So that girl that had a nude in high school, honestly, by the time she was 25, the men did nudes became a lot more normalized. But if you find out at 25, a girl in high school had a nude leaked and it like circulated the school, it's not as big of a deal, because that girl kind of learned her lesson and she stopped. So men do reward hoes that take a break. Like Amber Rose has moved. I would still put her as a tier 1 hoe. She kind of did too much, but she got in the stage of the Republican convention. So if you had to divide tier 1 hoes into like tier 1A and tier 1B, she's wearing turtlenecks now. I guess she's tier 1B, where Elon's baby mama is 1A because she's actively crashing out, I'd put myself at a tier 2 hoe. Tier 2, maybe tier 1, tier 2, tier 1. I just like to go the lowest, so there's no debate. You can just put me at the lowest. It's fine. I'll take it. So anyways, the reason tier 1 hoes hate tier 2 hoes is because a lot of tier 2 hoes did similar things as tier 1 hoes, but not at the same frequency, rate, and not as publicly. So men value privacy and discretion. Obviously, Taylor Swift isn't a great example of discretion, but like Candace Owens, for example, until Laura Loomer put it out there, nobody knew who she dated really before she was 30. Like we knew nothing about that woman's dating life. Nothing. So men value that. Same with Jedediah Bila. I don't really know anything about her dating life. So it's a mystery. So she was old. So I'm going to assume a few one night stands or like the other thing that's I find annoying about tier 2 hoes is you guys expect me to believe that you're mid and you had a 100% callback rate. They're like, I've never had a one night stand. And I'm like, so every guy you've slept with ever has called you back. Uh-huh. Every single one. No, we slept together twice and he ghosted me. Why do you do that? I was a virgin till marriage. You didn't do anal, really? You didn't gluck 9,000. Okay, but it wasn't Sorry. I didn't mean to hit that. So they have to tear apart tier 1 hoes have to tear apart tier 2 hoes because they can't be lonely. And like, I don't think it's really a secret. I'd be pissed if I was Lauren De Laguna and my friend gets married after I watched her, have a threesome with Sneeko. But she's, more mentally stable, I guess, allegedly, and, better looking and, probably just better than you in every way. Sometimes, women have outcomes because they're better than you. It just is what it is. Now, Alex Cooper, no tattoos or sex tape. Tier 2 hoes still have societal mobility, so they can still get in certain rooms and they're not viewed as complete whores. Yeah, so I'm trying to see if there's anything. I would say a tier 1 hoe can go to a tier 2, but usually their tier 1ing has to be pretty young and they have to have new behavior moving forward. So like if a guy finds out you hoed, but it was 5 years ago and you've had a good pattern, like men like to see a pattern and a routine of good behavior. Obviously, right? I'm not saying they do not prefer hoes. But they are more likely. It's kind of like if you're a criminal, right? But you've had 10 years or 5 years of good behavior since you went to jail. You're more likely to get a job. Now, it might not be the job you want, but at some point, somebody's going to give you a chance. You can see a girl's body count in her eyes. I don't know. I think if that were true, men wouldn't wife up whores so much and be completely aghast on what a woman's body count is. You know what I mean? Sorry. Now, tier 3 hoes, I just did like college freshmen. I mean, I know some girls whore out in high school, but it's basically either future hoes. There's zero evidence of hoeing, and they're under 25. You can't really know what a woman's done. Like, a woman can lie, but there's no evidence out there. But it's just annoying because tier 2 hoes are like the most annoying, because like conversations with tier 2 hoes just always are circulating around their reputation. Like, you almost enjoy the presence of tier 1 hoes because we don't have to waste so much time talking. Like, tier 2 hoes, they always are like, oh, I had a 3-year relationship. And it's like, well, I don't know if you cheated. And especially tier 2 hoes in the conservative space. Bro, you guys are just, I love y'all, but it's just getting ridiculous. I would never, like, I'll hear Jedediah Bila, and I'm like, Jedediah, it's like insulting my intelligence from you to go on your show, right? And I know you have no incentive to be honest. I would actually tell you to lie. I would tell you to, because like, what is the reward for being honest? It's just going to embarrass your husband. The e-girls will tell, you know. Like, you're gonna you get married at like 37 or something, and you want me to believe you're feminine in any way? No way. And the thing is, tier 2 hoes do get married, but again, there's gonna be there's one girl I can tell, Isabella Moody or whatever, has been humbled. I was telling her this today, since she got married, because really, there's gonna, whenever you have women that are arrogant, like they get married and say it's the most special, amazing, beautiful thing ever, that means they have a weak husband. Because again, you just have no idea, right, how masculine you are until you have a guy correcting you, and it's very humbling. The world will never correct you, but your guy at home will, I'll tell you what. So anyways. So things to mention: how long and how bad the hoe phase was will determine the tier. There's a lot of women that have hoe phases in college and get out of it. I know once a hoe, always a hoe, but like, remember that phrase really worked more in a previous society, right? Because now it's like not once a hoe, always a hoe. It's like women going in and out of rentals for monogamy. So it's like a monogamy rental. And so, you know, a woman that like take Brett Cooper, you know, I'm going to assume she hoed till she got married 22. She's still a tier 2 hoe, right? But she still got married young, so the hoeing couldn't have been as bad as like she's not close to being a tier 1 hoe. She wants to be a tier 3 hoe, but you know. Yeah. I mean, where you can't go to UCLA and get emancipated at 60, you know, it's just not. Also, how proud you are of the hoe phase. Like, at least tier 2 hoes know, like, they believe in discretion. Tier 1 hoes are, you know, Amber Rose or whatever used to do a slut walk. How likable you are too. I've seen men accept hoes, or they end up getting a chance because they're not annoying. You know what I mean? Resources in the future. Like, the only reason Call Her Daddy really made it out alive is because she's rich. And, you know, some men, and I can kind of understand this, it's like almost better to deal with women that have something to lose. You know, not that it's a guarantee, right? She could still use her money to fuck up your life, but, you know, there's a reason women came with dowries in the past. Another thing too is, tier 1 hoes are more likely to get wifed if they expect less monogamy in the future. Hence why I was like, you know, I don't think non-monogamy is the worst thing in the world, because we got to do something with these tier 1 hoes. Single mom over here. Now, most of these women I would say are too crazy for redemption, but you know, if a guy wants to tackle, if some guy believes Amber Rose's conversion story and wants to give her a second chance, why not? If she's a second or third wife, it's like, no, he already has the house anyway. You know, we could just throw her in the basement or something And then he says, go by my rules. Here's a list of tasks for the week. And she either does it or she doesn't. Don't sleep with other men for the rest of your life. And she can either do it or she can't. Right. But I kind of, maybe it's because I'm a woman and, you know, I'm a tier 2 hoe or maybe tier 1 hoe. Maybe it's my bias. I don't know. But again, we have all these women in society. Like, I always like to have a path forward for the people that do want to do right, you know. But there has to be a consequence, and the consequence is you've lost monogamy in the future. But, you know, you could be like a second or third. I think they're way past second chances. I know, but like, I want to put it this way. I think it would be good to have an incentive, right, to reward women for good behavior in the future. They're absolutely cooked. But like, okay, if we can get Bonnie Blue to stop banging 1,000 dudes on the internet because some guy with a cornfield is like, hey, you can be my 10th wife and you can just like do some corn or something. I mean, that's better use of her time, right? She probably won't do it, but how much youth do you have to offer? The only reason Sarah Stock had that scandal and she's not a tier 1 hoe is because she's so young. She's going to get more of a pass, right? Some tier 1 hoes are super likable. That's like why Riley Reid got married, in my opinion. She just seems not annoying. I just watched her in interviews. She just seems chill. So it makes sense to me that she found a husband, you know. The one thing though, tier 1 hoes only move the man down. They don't move her up in status. So she doesn't gain status from being married, but he loses it. But men don't care about status as much. Again, that's why I'm like, I personally wouldn't want to be in that arrangement, or I don't think I could do it, but I kind of understand the concept of men having multiple wives in this society. Yeah, and like if an attractive guy said, you know what, I could put a baby in one of these women, I'm going to get their genetics, and I need a paternity test. I need like 3 paternity tests, right? And she's got to work on my farm, or she's got to, I don't know, do something for me. I like the idea of women working for the guy. But no, the problem is they give the woman too much trust. You shouldn't trust her. Anyways, okay. Many hoes can move to get a ring with some humility. A lot of guys will accept things if you admit what you did, acknowledge you were wrong, that it was your fault. No one else's. No, it was, I just had a bad man and he left me. It's like, no, I was a selfish brat and I didn't listen to what he said. And moving forward, a true apology and saying, if you'll so have me, I would love to earn your trust and do right moving forward and listen to whatever you say. Now, that's a little awkward on a first date. I don't know when you would skirt that in there. But I'm telling you, guys are really nice people. They really, as much as they say men online will say like women are whores, and we are whores, right? Tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 whores. But men, I swear, men are so willing. Like, men love coaching women. That's why these whores get married, is they love like helping women. They love being like, So for Amy Dangerfield, she keeps responding. And it's just really sad. Her and her husband keep responding to these allegations. And if I were you, She should have just publicly started reframing that and said, that's a crazy woman. Because she is crazy, right? I am sure, and I am sure these women are given the least charitable versions of these stories possible. So I would say to her, is that all you got? Here are some options I gave her. And you can take these or leave it. I'm not saying these are the right ones. This is just what I thought of. Number 1, do it. Do it. Keep releasing more. Is that all you got? Are you done? It's option 1. Option 2. When I got married, there was a rift in our friendship. And, I'm not going to let her stop me from having a happy life. I love my husband with my whole heart. Some of the things she said are true, and I regret them. Some of the things are grossly over-exaggerated. Frankly, that's between me and my husband, and it's none of you guys' business. I'm here to talk about politics, not my sex life. That's option 2. And the advice I have is let your actions speak louder than words. Tier 2 hoes, can we please just stop running cover? Can you please stop telling me that you weren't a hoe and just show me? Because the more you tell me you weren't a hoe, the more I think you were a hoe. Don't say that, oh, I love submitting to him, because just show that you're obedient to him, right? Just show it. What's a public way she could show she's obedient? What's a public way? I'm trying to think. Public display of submission. I have to think more about that. But in the future, could be public as your threesome has become. You should have public displays of submission. You could try to make it, it sounds like the other girl's insecure. These are just some options I thought of, but I'm not saying these are the best. Hey, she's just mad I got game. She's welcome to my leftovers because she knows them so well. How does she know that? Oh, you said it. Let her talk. Yeah, but how do you know? How do you know? Because of something you think I said a long time ago. Gaslight, right? You could make it funny and say, if you wanted to be on the roster, you should have just said something. I don't know. I have a friend who comes up with one-liners, and those are the ones she said. But the worst thing you could do is go back and forth about the details. Oh, bow to him? Yeah. The absolute worst thing you can do is defend yourself. Like, okay, let's say you didn't, I don't know, let's say they're saying you fucked 7 guys and you fucked 2. I mean, is that really going to make it better? Like saying, oh, I had a 10-year relationship. Oh my God, I was just trying to find love and it didn't work out. Shut up. Just show me you're a good woman. Show me. So, Amy Dangerfield, I would still put her as a tier 2 hoe after this. I mean, honestly, even the stuff that came out, if you want a biblical example, she can call him my Lord. Yeah. Men are nice. They have God in them, in my opinion. And yeah, every girl's got nudes. Every girl's got sex videos, much worse. And some just got exposed because they're sloppy and didn't get caught. Doesn't mean you're more of a hoe. Yeah, and you know what? I was talking about to Moody the other day about there's just some like promiscuous photos of her like when she was younger, right? And I told her when they came out, I'm like, look, I never dressed like that, but I never had a body to dress like that. God help me if I spent my whole life, I don't know, 14 to 19% body fat as a woman. God knows, like, it's easy for me to judge, right? But Maybe I would have been naked too. You know, it's never been my disposition, but my disposition's always been like 10 up to 50 pounds overweight, depending on the year, you know. I'm only 10 now. Okay, 15. 15, shut up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't, it's easy for me to judge, you know. No, it was like an old picture of her. I'm not trying to draw attention to it. I don't know. I mean, it's online. I'm not trying. I like Moody. I got no problems with her. But you see what I'm saying? All right. So I want to do a call-in, and I want you guys to talk about what tier hoe you would prefer. Not even the Pope can save these hoes is one of my favorite quotes of yours. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I want to know, what tier would you prefer, an Amy Dangerfield or would you prefer an Alex Cooper? Like, would you prefer a tier 2 hoe that was open and honest or that was lying? Because, you know, there's two schools of thought. A lot of men just say they don't want to know. So they would take an Amy Dangerfield, but it might come out later because tier 1 hoes are trying to, you know, take out tier 2 hoes. I put it in the, I didn't establish the guidelines. Well, okay. First of all, yeah, if you call in, you can have, if you had any just general thoughts on the stream, right? You can call in and just give any general thoughts. The question, what tier hoe would you prefer? And would you prefer a hoe that was more open about it publicly or lying? So, you know, Alex Cooper was completely honest. Nobody can ever say, you know, I mean, she talked about Gluck 9000 of other men publicly. Sarah Stock lied. She said she was a virgin and that worked until it didn't, you know. Okay, no, tier 3 is not an option. You can't just say, you guys can't use the best option. That's a terrible question. Oh no, I want the best choice. Okay, well, then it's not a fun question. I hate it when you give an A or a B and they're like, neither. And it's like, well, there's a gun to your head. And then they're like, well, but I wouldn't pick either. It's like, what? There's no one else on the earth but these two. Can you just play? So, yeah, Bonnie Blue. All right, Doug MPA, welcome to the show.
So we're talking about Horace, huh?
Yeah, love Horace here. Thank God for you, Horace, because I'll be employed forever. So, what's your thought on what tier hoe would you prefer? Okay, and any other general thoughts that you have on the topic?
So, guys, we have to admit that tier 1 is too much. Here's the thing: tier 1s, you do have the Alex Coopers that get to tier 2 or tier 3, or they have some kind of results. But to be with a tier 1 hoe, you have to sink down to tier 1 hoe. Like you have to go down there. Any guy that gets with and takes a tier 1 hoe seriously, you sink down to where they are. You can't bring them up. Understand what I'm saying?
So you would prefer you would take Amy Dangerfield over Alex Cooper.
Go to tier 3 again.
Tier 3. I mean, that's the best choice. That's like
okay.
No evidence on the internet, basically.
Yeah, I mean, so tier 3 pretty much doesn't exist in for any women over a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, or over a certain age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, gun to your head. These are two tier 2 hoes, but one is more open about it. So Amy Dangerfield, she lied, right? Or maybe just wasn't open about her past and it comes out, or someone who was open about it the whole time.
I would think open about it the whole time.
Oh, so then you'd take that's closer to a tier 1 hoe.
Well, okay, so let's re-go over the difference between a tier 1 and a tier 2, because like, so you're saying be open about whoring automatically makes you a tier 1? Like,
No,
what if
she's
it's
a tier 2, but it's more of the concept. These are 2 tier 2 hoes. I'm just saying, like, Sarah Stock lied. It's not fair because Sarah Stock's younger, so obviously the guys will pick her. But like, assuming they're the same age, one's talking publicly about being a whore and not hiding it at all. One is lying and then gets caught.
well, is Sarah Stock a tier 1 whore that over time could move back to tier 2?
No, I'd put her at tier 2. I wouldn't put her at tier 1 because
Really?
I mean, what, she banged her boss. So,
but even with because it's diabolical that she made her husband wait and took pictures with the Pope. Does that make her a tier 1 whore?
I mean, I think it makes her a liar, but I wouldn't put her at tier 1. Tier 1 is like open. I am a slut and I don't care. Tier 2, like, it's just water is wet. The sky is blue. I mean, like, women have been doing that forever. That's not really new. Making one guy wait and having sex with another guy. Like,
One thing I'll never do is argue with you and your expertise on whores. Sorry. That would be a stupid thing to do. So
I'm sorry, it is diabolical, but I'm just saying in 2 years, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, it was a big deal now this year, but she's like 22. When she's 25, are people really they're gonna remember the slut walk? And yeah, the people in our space, but like the people in our space might remember that, but like, I don't know. Am I making sense? Like,
yeah, I told you you have a Zen-like understanding of women and whoring.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched so many videos on whores.
You can be one of those grandmasters up in the mountains, that people seek for lessons about about how whores act and how they navigate. So yeah, I can't argue with your.
Well, I'm just more curious your thought process on, like, would you prefer someone who lies or is honest? And the lie could come out later.
Okay, could come out later or will come out later?
Give me if it does and it doesn't. Give me both.
Okay, so that's such a strange one, because if a woman's whored enough, that's a tough one. Because it would be so much worse if you like invested in a woman thinking that she's not a whore and you found out later that there's no way that could not be a bad thing. Like, remember that guy who was married to his ex-wife for like 50 who's married to his wife for like 50 years or 60 years, and he found out that she cheated on him like 45 years ago and divorced her when they were both like 78 or 80 or some shit like that. You remember that story?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. I just think that finding out later after you've invested in a woman like she's not a whore would be so much worse than knowing up front.
But then it's like you probably wouldn't do it if you knew up front.
Okay.
Right?
Here's the thing.
Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong?
Yes. Well, okay. If she didn't have any kids and she were hot enough, I would do it. Guys, Doug and PH, single mothers are like the worst thing ever. Like, if she doesn't have a social media platform and she doesn't have any kids, I can pretty much work with it.
You don't have to commit to any women in this marketplace. I know this is gun to your head question. It's like, if you don't want to partake in the question, stay in the chat, damn it. Mark, welcome to the show. What tier whore are you picking? And would you prefer what you don't know doesn't hurt you, or honesty up front?
Well, first of all, I will argue with you about whores because I fucked them. You haven't.
Okay.
And I would rather take a woman who can be honest, because it's painful for women to be honest about their past sexuality. And I would rather deal with somebody who can be honest than somebody who's in denial about their own psychology.
Is it worse if it's like publicly honest?
It's worse for me, right? Because now I'm saying this is what I can get because I'm choosing her. Yes. At the same time, from a psychological perspective, it's easier to deal with somebody who's honest.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if
Alex Cooper for the win, guys. Keep going.
and the sad part about it is, how public are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, you have to ask that question. Does she have a TikTok where all she talks about is whoring? You know what I'm saying? Or is it like the small town knows that she's a whore, but like no other part of the world does? What are we talking about when it comes to public?
I'm saying Amy Dangerfield versus Alex Cooper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Amy Dangerfield lied to her husband about some guy she slept with. Alex Cooper talked about the men as she was sleeping with them publicly.
I don't think Alex Cooper's
Cooper,
attractive, but I would choose her because she's honest.
Yeah, I would choose Alex Cooper because here's the thing: like, you put both men and women in a relationship can put the other person that they're with in the position where something egregious happens, and not only does it happen, but you have to do something about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, making the choice up front keeps you out of a position where you have to do something about it later when it comes out, especially in like a public way like that. Because I think that's why Tiger Woods is for wife divorced him. I think that if it wouldn't have been so public, she would have stayed with him.
Yeah,
but because it was so public, everyone's you have to. What are you going to look like staying with him? You have to do something about it. You have to do something about it. So she did something about it.
Wicked Witch of the West. What are you picking?
What am I picking?
Yeah.
To be honest, I think you're going to have to reiterate to me what the differences are between the actual.
Watch the show and come back. Yeah, sorry, guy.
Hold on. I got a personal example I could use to help illustrate this.
Sure.
On your other stream, I said that I thought I had found somebody special, but she ended up cheating on me. Out of all of my exes, she's the only one I'd give a second chance to because she came to me and told me herself about it. She took accountability. She was honest. So as much as it hurt, I respect her character for being honest with me, even though it made her look like the asshole.
Yeah, but her character was her cheating on you, though.
Yes, but she took accountability. She didn't make a single excuse.
What?
And she didn't blame me.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah,
right. Do you see how rare that is? That's the only.
No,
that's
dude.
why she's the only one I'd give a second chance.
But her cheating's not going to be rare, though. Like her being a cheating whore is going to be a thing. Like if you give her a second chance, like what's going to stop her from cheating on you again?
Yes,
I'm
but every single relationship, a woman can cheat. You're not guaranteed loyalty.
Okay, but someone showed you that they're not loyal.
Yes, but like I said, I would give her a second chance if she demonstrated even further character growth.
Okay, I can't
Is
argue
my
with
mic
you.
working?
What?
Is my mic working?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't think it was actually working. I'm going to agree with Mark, to be fair. I think he's definitely onto something here. I think that I think there's obviously the potential that a lot of these women are going to have colourful pasts, and there's definitely a chance that some of them actually have obviously acted like hoes. And I think that's a lot of things that men are going to have to deal with these days. I just feel that most people these days are going to have colourful pasts, and I think there's always the potential of someone acting like a hoe. And if they're going to be honest about it, I think on some level you have going to. It's hard to accept, obviously, if people want to act like hoes. I think on some level you've almost got to you've got to accept people for who they are. It's a tough pill to swallow, really. But if it's a difficult one, but I tend to agree with Mark on this. I think he's definitely on to something. That it's best to be upfront, be straight with people. I think he's
Some of the best
I mean,
advice my father ever told me was when dealing with people, well, just in life in general, consider yourself in an advantageous position when somebody, something, or some organization tells you everything that you need to know about them. And a woman cheating on you does exactly that. You don't have to crash out. You just leave and just never talk to her again. Especially the amount of time. And guys, I'm not talking about if you're just seeing her and dating her or whatever. A lot of you guys are gonna take a woman seriously. You may not get married, but you'll try in some way, shape, or form to build a life with a woman. And men always put more effort into women than women put into men. Most of you guys out there will put yourself in a position where if a woman cheats, it hurts you bad. It'll be a learning lesson. And what I'm saying is the woman that is that learning lesson, don't talk to her again. Thank her for teaching you that lesson and move on. That's all I'm saying. If you're talking about dating and sleeping around, that's fine. But I'm talking when you're putting the amount of effort in that a lot of us will, and you get betrayed, nice and simple, leave her behind.
Oh no, I thought when we were discussing sort of this tier two hoe business, I just thought that we were actually discussing it from the perspective of would you actually get with a woman who had a bit of a sort of sketchy past, who did sort of have some hoe behaviors. I thought we were actually discussing it from that point of view. In terms of a woman sort of acting a hoe behind your back and obviously cheating on you, yeah, I totally agree with you. Is it Doug? I completely agree with you. I think if a woman treats you like that and they act the hoe behind your back, there's only one course, and that's to obviously to sling that. Excuse my language now, but to sling that slut in the trash, really. Get rid of them.
Yep, I hear you.
Thanks, Wicked Witch of the West. I'm going to bring up Seb. I think his point, though, is there's some virtue in being honest.
Yes, it's difficult. It's painful. Somebody who can hurt themselves like that, to be honest, I can respect them more than somebody who denies and is in denial about their capacity to cheat. People are only as faithful as they choose to be.
Wait. So you honestly think that a woman that cheat on a guy can come back to a guy and first off respect him, and second off not cheat again?
Well,
yes, she has that capability. Doesn't mean she will, but she has that capability.
Well, there's just certain problems that you should and should not choose to deal with, especially if you're a competitive, ambitious guy, and just like that's just a problem that you just shouldn't deal with. What does Myron Gaines always say? Women don't have a lot of responsibilities in a relationship. Just don't be annoying. Don't be a whore. That's it. You know, that's it. And if a woman can't not be a whore when you're investing in her, there's billions of other women on the planet. Bye. See ya. I don't care how honest you are.
Doug, I'm not saying you should date a woman who cheated on you. I'm not saying you need to give her a second chance. I'm not saying that at all.
No. You're saying you would, and that's fine if you would.
Wait.
No. I didn't say I would. I said out of all of my exes, there's only one who I would give a second chance to, depending on how much more character growth she has had. She's demonstrated to me that she can take self-accountability for her own actions. When she cheated on me, it destroyed her more than it hurt me, because now her fantasy about how good of a person it was destroyed by her own actions. It destroyed her more than it hurt me. She's been humbled by reality. She's more likely to be honest about herself going forward. So depending on her character, I might give her a second chance.
Look.
Because I would rather deal with somebody who's been humbled by reality than somebody who's delusional about who they are and their capacity to be unfaithful. People who say, "Oh, I could never cheat," they're liars. Every person has the capacity to be unfaithful. The people who virtue signal the most are usually the ones coping the most, are usually the ones the most in denial about themselves. I'd rather take somebody who's not in denial than somebody who is in denial.
Okay. And to all
Why do
that,
we respect Pearl so much? Because she's honest.
yeah. But hoes, you would never expect. You never put the standard of monogamy and investing in a hoe. Especially if she's honest. She should have been honest with you up front and said, "Hey, Mark, I'm going to cheat on you up front."
I don't think that's how it works, Doug.
That's not how it works. She wasn't planning to.
I don't think women go into relations like.
Oh yeah, look.
So.
I know people in California, Washington State, and these liberal states who have this thing saying that we're not going to be monogamous. I'm probably going to sleep with other guys, men and women, take it or leave it. That's a thing now. All right. The problem is having the expectation. Yeah. So why would you not respect her honesty up front and saying, look, Mark, I'm going to fuck other guys? How is honesty after the fact when she should have been honest at the beginning?
Because I don't think that's normally how it works other than in Washington. Like most women that cheat, it's just in the heat of the moment. Or like, I don't think it's like this drawn out, planned out thing for most people cheat.
Wait. Hold up a second. You don't think, women plan the divorces freaking 2, 3, 4 years ahead of time. And you think that women plan on cheating?
I'll give you an example. There's a girl in school who I saw cheat on her boyfriend by banging her ex in the bathroom at a party.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think she planned that out. I think she just saw her ex at a party and banged him in the bathroom.
Okay.
And that was wrong.
Especially if she was
she
was alpha widowed by the ex.
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
And then the boyfriend was meeting her at the party. It was kind of diabolical.
Okay, but we're talking about honesty here. Honesty is better before she cheats and saying, look, I'm going to screw this guy, and instead of after the fact, and you give her another chance. There's always degrees of things. First degree murder, second degree murder, manslaughter. A person's dead in all instances, but cases are worse. She should have been honest with you up front and said, you know what? I might sleep with other guys.
Doug, you're missing what I said.
I'm not missing what you said.
That experience humbled her and forced her to be honest with herself about her own psychology. She couldn't be honest before that.
This is chicken soup for the soul.
Reality. No. Hold on.
I feel like
all people have to be humbled by reality, especially if they're in delusion. Only after they've been humbled can they choose to then be honest. Some people are able to be honest.
What's that have to do with you taking her back after her cheating on you? That's my thing.
Hold on. I didn't say I would take her back. I said I'd give her a second chance, depending. But
why though? Why does all this involve you? You can do all this over there.
Because most women would lie about it. That's why. That's what he's saying. Most women just would never tell us.
Okay, but what is the pathology behind a man that would give a woman who cheated on him a second chance? That's what I'm trying to understand. She can do all that honesty stuff and blah blah woo, Mark, woohoo. I think what kind of guy would take that woman back?
Well, I think the thought process is you're going to get a new girl and she's going to cheat anyway.
Yes, take that chance. Yes, 100%.
Okay.
There's no reason for you to take a woman back who cheated on you. You can do the honesty. We can do the circles and the chakras and the energy and all that stuff. Yeah. Guys, don't take a woman back who cheated on you. She told you everything that you need to know.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
That is what.
So.
Look.
I didn't say take her back.
Mark, hold on a second.
You just gotta let him finish.
No. He's explained himself multiple times. I'm going to explain myself.
You've been
No, I haven't. Listen, she can do all the forgiveness and honesty and stuff, and that's good that she gave you closure and said, look, I messed up. I'm wrong. I apologize. But that should still be I'm not saying what Mark is saying of her taking accountability. That's okay. I'm not arguing that point. I'm arguing the point where you should not take that. You shouldn't even consider it. You are disrespecting yourself by taking a woman back who cheated on you in all circumstances. Everything Mark is saying, I'm not disagreeing with her taking accountability, honesty, but she can do that over there. There is no excuse, none, zero, period, to take a woman back who's cheated on you. That's all I'm
You
saying.
know what's do you know what's also disrespecting yourself? Dating a woman who says she'll never cheat. Women are as faithful as their circumstances, as their options, as they choose to be. Pearl herself has said she doesn't know what she would have done in certain situations if she had been given that opportunity. She's being honest. Pearl herself has said she doesn't know what she would have done if she was the one being invited to be on the boat parties on the yachts in Miami. She's being honest. I appreciate that honesty more than somebody who's lying saying I could never cheat. Everybody loves the idea of, oh, I could never cheat. I'm honest and loyal. And then they're completely destroyed when circumstances happen and in the heat of the moment, they end up cheating. I'd rather take somebody who's honest about their own capacity to do horrible things than a person who's in denial.
But she should be that way up front. You can find a woman who says, look, take me seriously, but I'm going to cheat on you. And you can say, yes, okay. And that's fine.
Okay. But how many people, especially women, are held accountable to be honest with themselves? We see this epidemic of society lying to women. Simps who want to fuck beautiful women are lying to them, not holding them accountable.
Okay.
I'm saying this one woman, her ability to take self-accountability is so damn rare that I'd be willing to give her another chance depending on what her character is now, because of how rare it is for women who are honest up front and take accountability about themselves.
Okay.
There's a reason we're on Pearl's panel and not some other woman's panel.
It's crazy. Okay. We'll just have to agree to disagree. Guys, don't ever take a cheater back under any circumstances. She can be honest, and she, you can sit down with her over a glass of wine, and she holds your hand, and you can reminisce about all the good times. And she says that she fucked up and she let you go and stuff like that, whatever. But you listen to her, and then you walk away, and you never come back. And you can do that without like you can assume that a woman is going to cheat, but still not have her cheat on you. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to hurt. If you expect a woman to cheat and she cheats, well, then it doesn't really hurt that much, and you can just walk away. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Just don't accept women who cheat, and that's it.
I kind of understood what you're saying.
I'm approaching it from the perspective of I am not entitled to
loyalty. I feel like that's like kind of realistic.
Wait, taking a woman back after she cheats?
No, that all women have the capacity to cheat.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that point.
I don't know. I think I just think you're gonna go on a tangent on this.
No, because
you're gonna put words in my mouth because you're gonna go.
No, because you're not listening to what I'm saying.
I'm listening to. I don't think it's just my opinion. I hear what you're saying, but I understand.
What am I saying? Steal me in my argument.
You're saying that you should never take back a woman that cheats because she should have been honest up front.
No. I'll stop it at a woman. Don't take a woman back that cheats. This whole she should have been honest up front. That's being added on because you guys are talking about how honest a person can be, and that can qualify her. I want to stop my statement that don't take a woman back who cheats.
Okay, Doug,
all the rest of it is
you've never done a sin that you never thought you would do in the heat of the moment ever in your life.
I have, but
okay,
but I don't expect to be forgiven for it.
I know, but I'm saying that you don't always know what you're going to do. That's the point. And you don't have to be forgiven for it, but he's saying he values that honesty, and I can understand that. So.
Yes, and I understand. I'm not arguing that point. He can understand it all he wants, but that doesn't mean you should take the woman back. Do you have to do both? Do you have to forgive the woman and take her back?
You don't have to. He's just saying he'd consider it. So,
okay.
I mean, if he wants to consider it, I mean, I could understand where he's coming from. If the new girl cheats anyway, Okay. I'm not saying he should, but
what I'm saying is I would rather date a woman who's open about the fact that she cheated in the past and doesn't make excuses for it than a woman who promises that she'll never cheat.
Okay, I can say that if a woman is attractive and doesn't have kids and she says, okay, hey, I've cheated on other people, I can respect that honesty. But her cheating on me, I don't care how honest she is. She's cooked. Done.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather take the woman who can be upfront about her mistakes in the past than a woman who's in denial.
Well, then what's that have to do with you taking a woman who cheated on you back, like, and her honesty after the fact?
I did not say I would take her back. I said I would consider giving her a second chance, depending.
What's the
on
difference?
if she's had, because
that's synonymous.
Because now I know who she is. I have experienced who she truly is, what she's capable of. I can hold her accountable much more easily if she starts lying about other things.
Okay.
And if you want to think about it, who has the power? The one who was cheated or cheated on? The one who is cheated on now has a bit of a leg up in virtue, you could say, over the one who cheated.
Okay.
As fucked up as it is, it's kind of true.
Nah, man. Nope. Okay. Okay. That's fine.
Okay. Welcome, Seb. Would you prefer Alex Cooper or Amy Dangerfield? Oh, you're muted. You gotta unmute yourself.
Can I choose Manuela?
I don't know who that is.
It's my.
No.
No.
I don't know. Andy Cooper.
I don't think he understood the show. Okay.
Let's flip the script. I'm
Sure.
going to ask Pro your question.
Okay.
Let's hypothetically, you're single, you're talking to two guys. One guy is honest that he's cheated in the past, and the other guy is promising you he would never ever cheat on you. Which one would you respect more?
The one that's honest.
That's my point.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's always the biggest virtue signal. It's like I would never. It's like, well, then you like guys just don't know what they would do unless they've had really attractive women talking to them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm just kind of realistic. Like, if you've never had attractive women in your life, then you have no idea what you would like. If most guys were in like LeBron James's shoes or, some of those other like clavicular, they don't know what they would do. I don't know what I would do on a yacht in Dubai. The poop comes off, as I've said. I never got invited to the yacht, thank God. Some opportunities I'm glad I never had, So, anyone else want to call in, guys? What do you think about, Mark, that if you cheat, the dynamics of the relationships change? How do you trust her again?
The dynamics absolutely have changed. You can learn to trust her again based off of her behavior, not her promises, not her apologies. She has to show accountability. She has to show remorse, and she has to show through her behavior and actions that she's actually learning. For example, if you tell her, stop flirting with guys, get rid of your social media, will she actually do it? Will she do it to earn your trust, or is she going to argue with you and keep engaging in the behaviors that led to her cheating to begin with?
Hey, Donnie, welcome to the show. Would you prefer a hoe that's honest up front or someone that lied and it might come out later?
Honest. Honest is always better. I missed most of the stream, but I kind of got the gist of the question. You were doing tier 1 versus tier 2. What's the main difference? Are the tier 1 hoes just honest whores, and the tier 2s are like the conservative women who hoe on the down low?
Oh, wait, hold on. Here, let me show you. So the question, I didn't have her picture here, but tier 1 are like out in the open. They kind of are doing the same thing as tier 2, but maybe more extreme, right? But a better example, I'm going to use one that's a little bit more wifeable that you have to pick from. So there's Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy, who detailed all of her sexual escapades, or like a Sarah Stock or like a similar right-wing e-girl who, lied and then it comes out later. So like Amy Dangerfield is the current one.
I don't know who those people are, but I'll be quick. Like it's better to just be honest. Like, and well, I guess I wanted to direct something at Mark. I was always curious. Is Mark like a cast member, part of the show, or is he just a caller like the rest of us?
He's one of my regulars, so there's a few people that just calling off.
Okay, it's just once is enough. Like, not to throw a bone to a woman, but in DC Comics, Harley Quinn was like the worst ever toxic relationship with the Joker. Beaten, almost killed multiple times, got lied on, betrayed. And what did Harley Quinn always do with the Joker? Go right back. Nobody, once is enough. Someone does you wrong once is already too much. And no, I better leave. I might tell a personal story, but once is enough.
You can tell the personal story. Go ahead.
Well, the worst heartache I ever had, it wasn't an actual relationship, but I was betrayed. I used to be a member of one of the local Republican groups in my area. Met a conservative girl who it seemed like she was interested, but nothing really became of it. But the tragedy was, around that time, my mother got sick and she died. This conservative girl heard about it, and at that point, it seemed like maybe we were becoming just friends. And I mean friends as in maybe we could have actually been friends. Someone that shows me kindness during a rough time. I don't really have a reason to shit on them or be mad at them. But we weren't actually friends either, because more and more I was just an emotional plaything. And no, this wasn't me projecting. It's like I would see her do this to other guys she had known for years. And some of these dudes were like the biggest simps ever. Like this one guy, I asked him, wait a minute, you're commenting on so-and-so's social media. I would see these cringe songs they wrote for this person. And I asked him, it's like, how long have you known this person? He'd say, oh, I known her 8 years. She loves me. She's going to marry me. Have you guys ever slept together or kissed? No, but she, and then I cursed this bitch out, and obviously we end up hating each other, but the whole thing could have been resolved if she had just been more straight with people. She's one of those flirty types, and I still have some anger towards it. That's one of the reasons I'm so disgusted at conservative women. Like, and if you remember, I called in at the last show bringing up Ronald Reagan's divorce. You take notes, Doug MPA, because Ronald Reagan was the first president to be divorced, even though he was ironically the wholesome Christian values guy, not JFK or Bill Clinton. His wife, Jane Wyman, he had 2 husbands before him. This is when Reagan was young and in Hollywood. And then Jane Wyman had 2 husbands after him. Like Ronald Reagan, he meets his other wife, Nancy. They stay married when he becomes Super Reagan and kills the commies. But his Republican wife, Jane Wyman, she treated marriage like Pokemon badges. Got to collect them all. And I don't know, that whole thing just blackpilled me, which is one of the reasons I'm hanging out here. But I need to wrap it up. You got other callers, and look, I got no beef with you, Mark. It's just you kind of remind me of my friend JS, the one that deleted himself 2 years ago. He was very traditional. He was very religious, and there were times he gave more than he should. He should have been more selfish, like we all should be. I don't mean abusive selfish. I just mean rational, selfish. But I need to go. I don't want to stay too long. I got other stuff to do. It was nice talking with you again, Pearl. Nice talking with you, Doug. Wish you well, Mark. I got to split.
Thanks for calling in, Donnie.
I agree with him. I do give out a lot. That is absolutely true. This is also why, out of all of my exes, I would not give a second chance to any of them except that one.
Welcome to the show. What do you think? Alex Cooper, honest hoe or liar might come out later. What are you thinking?
So if that's a specific thing that they would do, I mean, honestly, all of it is kind of annoying.
What?
But all of it is kind of annoying in a sense, but like for me, like I would look for something else. Like which one of them doesn't feel like morally superior?
That wasn't the question. Wasn't the question. Don't come on here and tell me to ask a different question. Okay. Kyle, welcome to the show. What are we thinking?
Hey, bro. Can you hear me?
Alex Cooper or Amy Dangerfield? So just to recap, Alex Cooper, honest about her sexual escapades. Amy Dangerfield, better reputation, wasn't really overly honest, and it comes out later.
Probably, I would say honest. Honesty matters more.
Even if it's public.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I'd say like the honesty thing. I mean, it's a bad choice no matter what, but I would say the honest one. So like Alex Cooper in that case, because I guess at least you know about it. Or sorry, if you know they're being honest in this scenario, then I guess you can predict more for their character in the future, but you probably don't want to be with either, obviously, but at least that person, you kind of know how they roll, so to speak.
What did you hear the cheating debate earlier?
No, I'm sorry, I missed it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So they're having Mark said out of all of his exes he would give a second chance to, would be none of them except a woman who admitted to cheating because she was honest, and that's so rare for women to admit when they're wrong and take accountability. Do you agree with that? Do you disagree? Is that something you would do or no?
I mean, I like the honesty, but it's such a strike against you. So, I mean, only in some scenario where there was like no other options, I guess, like your best option is just a cheating woman who's honest. I would say, did I understand it right?
Yeah, Mark, if I didn't say it right, feel free to add any caveats.
I would still say no. I do like give props for the honesty, but yeah.
You said it correctly. Pull up the picture of that model who married the doctor.
Okay, sure. Model, married, escort. Give me a second. Hold on. What is her name? Doug, MPA, do you remember the model's name?
She was a beauty queen.
Beauty queen.
Yeah, hold on. It's
I'm like trying to get it to come up.
It is.
I found it. Yeah.
Hanjo Kim, and his wife is Regina Turner.
Yeah, no. Well, would you give her a second chance?
That's my question.
No. The answer is no.
Okay.
No.
I'm saying no. Yeah, it's like you gotta draw a line.
Kyle. Your wife, a woman you take seriously, cheats on you.
Right.
And then it breaks up with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, would you take her back under any circumstances?
I don't think so. Yeah, I can't think of any.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Yeah,
I'm just honest because I know what it's like to be in that situation.
Jesus would have to say, you have to be a simp, Kyle.
I understand what he's saying. I do understand what he's saying. I'm not saying I'd recommend it, but I understand where he's coming from.
I'm not recommending it. That's the thing. I'm not recommending it at all. I'm just being honest.
Mhm.
That I value honesty so damn much that I'd be willing to listen to her and maybe give her a second chance. Because
But
that
she wasn't
honesty
honest
is
when
so
she
rare.
cheated on you, though. Are you cherry picking when honesty counts?
Doug, you're missing my point.
I'm not missing your
She-
point. If
no,
you
hold-
stop saying
Doug.
I'm missing your point, stop
I
saying
said-
that. I've been listening
I
to you this entire
said
time.
she-
Do
I
not say
said-
that again.
Doug,
I've
I
not
said
missed
that
your point.
experience forced her to be honest with herself. She wasn't honest before. That
What
experience
forced her to cheat on
forced her to be
you?
honest. Nothing forced
What's
her. She
forcing you to
chose.
take her back?
Nothing. I didn't say I would. I'm not talking to her. I haven't talked to her in years. I'm saying that honesty is so damn rare that I would make an exception, possibly, depending on character. I didn't say I'm gonna take her back. I didn't say I'm gonna reach out to her. No, I'm
But
not
what
saying
kind of-
any of that.
But how does her character of being honest trump her character of cheating on you in the first place?
I mean,
those are both character tests.
Okay, you guys have never considered taking back a cheating woman ever.
I've done it once already. I was married and my freaking ex-wife cheated on me. And I freaking took her back once, and that was the freaking dumbest thing I ever did. So that's this is why I'm getting so hot on this. When you marry someone and you invest in this person, you're trying to build a life with somebody. She cheated once. I took her back, and then she cheated in a way that freaking embarrassed me in front of everybody. I'm not just speaking out of my ass here.
Okay, she didn't embarrass.
Mark, you're talking about hypothetically. I've been through this. That's the difference between me and you. You're just talking. This is an intellectual exercise for you and my morality, and I give a lot. I've been through this. And you're like, you don't understand. That's why I do understand. I've lived this. I've made this choice. That's why you're trying to derail the conversation. What I'm saying, oh, you're not understanding. I've lived this, bro. That's the difference between me and you. So I do understand it. I've made the choice. It was a horrible mistake.
Yeah, I know what you're saying too, Pearl. Like, because
and I've told this story on the stream before, and apparently you guys aren't listening to me. I've told the story before. Kyle, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, and I feel for you, man, because that's freaking terrible that happens. And it's like, no, I know what you're saying too, Pro, because I'm thinking of it like if I have like perfect judgment, I'm not swayed emotionally, because like I could see me making a mistake in doing that under some circumstance. Like, I don't know, like, they could be emotionally pleading with you, trying to like make it seem, like they weren't really at fault for doing it. I don't know. Like if everything lined up and I'm just like, feeling super sorry for it, I could see myself in some scenario making that mistake. But I think like the choice I should take is not taking them back.
All I'm saying, if like, I can understand where he's coming from. That's it. I can understand what he's saying.
Let me go a different track. I loved the idea that I would never flirt with or sleep with a woman who's in a relationship with another man. I had that fantasy about myself that I'm such a good person, I would never do that. And then I was put in a situation where I had the opportunity to be the side dude. I've been invited to be the side dude twice. Until I was in that position, I was in denial about my capacity to do that. I was humbled by reality, and I had to be honest with myself about my capacity to do things that I thought are wicked. And both times where I was invited to be the side dude, I was invited by the man.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What the hell? Do you know what?
I was flirting with the women. They didn't have the courage to tell their woman no. And then they invited me to be the side dude to sleep with their woman because the woman wanted it.
Bruh. I've heard about
So
guys
there-
doing that recently. I don't know.
So there went my fantasy about being a man who would never cuck another man. That fantasy got ruined because I got invited to be that guy.
Damn. Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. I can understand where you guys are both are coming from. So
That was a good talk. No, thanks for having me up here, Pearl. Big fan of your stuff. Keep doing what you do.
all right, thanks. Okay, well. Why do you guys invite? That's such a weird thing to do. Like, what did the husband say? Like, why did he want to do it? I'm gonna close out the show after this, but
Okay, so one of the two couples, they were in a situation. They weren't quite fully boyfriend and girlfriend. The other one, they were actually married. Which one do you want to hear about?
the married one.
Okay, so the married one. I was playing a mobile game, one of the ones where you build a city, join an alliance, fight other people. And there was a group chat. I was talking in the group chat with everybody in the chat, and I started flirting with her. Turns out she's married. So I reach out to the husband because he's also in the same group chat and say, hey, if you're not comfortable with me flirting with your wife, I'll stop. I was choosing to be honorable. He said, no, please continue because I really enjoy how aroused you make her.
Wow.
Then later, I decided to take a vacation and drive down to their state to visit them because I wanted to see the state and they seem like interesting people. And as I'm driving down, I haven't even got there. He's telling me, hey, if anything happens between you and my wife, I'm okay with it.
Wow. Do you know what?
There went
Go ahead.
There went my fantasy that I would never cuck another man because I was invited. Now, I never acted upon it, but I was invited.
I've heard this recently that like yeah, I've heard like stories recently of like either from the guy or the girl, like the girl being asked by a guy to be like had sex with in front of another person, or like the other way around where like the guy is invited like you. So yeah, what a world. But so you didn't act on it then though. So weren't you right that you wouldn't do it?
No, I wasn't right because I didn't know until I actually was in the situation.
Oh, okay. Got it. Well,
And
do you
then
want
when I met them in person, there was no chemistry. If there was chemistry, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I understand.
Right? That's me being honest.
Yeah. Do you want to give any final thoughts? I'm going to close out the show because we're almost to 3 hours.
All women have the capacity to be whores. If they say they don't, they're just lying. They just haven't met a guy who can turn them on enough.
Cool.
If you can arouse a woman adequately enough, she'll be your whore. Been there, done that. I'd rather take a woman who is honest versus a woman who's in denial, and then I have to show her, actually, no, you're lying to yourself.
Cool. Thanks, Mark. Doug MPA, any final thoughts?
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I don't know, man. You know, I guess we have to accept the fact that most of us are going to get with whores. You know, the fact that we have to have this conversation, it's progress, but you know, I mean, it's, you know, I mean, these conversations, it's sad we have to have this conversation, but they have to be had. So that's progress. And yeah, guys, you know, like, you know, I don't know, man, just like I said, most of you guys are going to try to build a life with a woman, even if you don't get married. Just make sure that you're aware and you're willing to go with whatever comes along. I don't know. Just keep yourself in the best position to move according to what happens in life, and just consider yourself in an advantageous position when somebody, or some organization tells you everything that you need to know. That's it. I'll keep it politically correct.
That's all right. All right. Thanks, Doug MPA. All right, guys. I don't know. I understood where both guys were coming from, but I just know so many women that like lie about cheating. Like, it happens all the time. So I could understand the reasoning for putting an incentive, to be honest, you know, a reasoning. But I know men's visceral reaction to cheating is like they can't stomach it. So I'm not even saying to do it. But anyways, I think men say they want an Alex Cooper, but if they're honest with themselves, most of them would pick Amy Dangerfield. Yeah, that's actually my thought. I think most guys would say, they'd be like, yeah, I want a girl that's honest. But I think they do reward women that lie. You know what I mean? Mark said he had a visceral reaction. So I think most guys sit like they like to think they would pick, but yeah. So anyways. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I love you. Thanks for watching. And if you disagree, it's okay. You can just put it in the comments. If you ever think like, Pearl, you missed this point. If you ever think, Pearl, you know, there's a caveat that you really should have put in there, you totally can put it in the comments. I love hearing what you guys have to say. I don't always reply, but I do read most of the comments. Doug MPA does too. So I like to have original concepts here, and I really like the tier system. I tier cities by how hot you are, by what city you go to. Like, I went to Milwaukee, and that was because I was fat, right? Fat women, Milwaukee. You know what I mean? So, but like, if I was hot, I'd be in LA. If I'd lost 50 pounds when I was 20, I don't know, maybe I'd be in LA, but I wasn't. So anyways, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.